and the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for K-State Athletics. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City, a 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 965thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We have so much to get into over the course of the next 4 hours. Josh Vernier is going to join us on the show. The play-by-play commentator for the Atlanta Falcons is going to be on the show today. Nate Taylor is going to be on the show today. We're going to talk some baseball, going to talk some pro football, some college football, and we'll have some fun along the way. There is so much to get into on this Red Friday. It might be a Blue Friday. Who knows what it is, but we got you covered here on The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. You want to know how I know that we have you covered? We have not one but 2 chances for you to win a pizza today. Here's the first one.
Pizza time on The Drive. Carrington, dial me up right now. 913-586-7965. Caller number 6 wins a pizza from our friends over at Pizza Tassio. Pizza Tassio is Kansas City's best New York-style pizza, and they have taken over the town. They lovingly use 100% whole milk mozzarella, all organic tomato sauce with locally grown fresh ingredients, all made by KC guys who both know and love pizza. So whether you're hungry enough for a whole pie or just a slice or two, be sure to visit them now at pizzatassio.com. That's pizza, TASCIO.com.
I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number 1, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock. Number 2, I need you to tell one friend. I don't need you to tell 2 friends that if you want some of the best pizza in Kansas City and you are excited about a busy sports weekend in Kansas City, Sporting is in town. The Royals are in town. The Current are in town. Missouri plays a home game this weekend. It is very much a busy sports week here locally on The Drive. Let's start with this. For those of you that watch the television show Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, you know that it is a balance of peacetime and then wartime. I am telling you that peacetime for the Kansas City Chiefs have ended in that regard. The Chiefs have been able to hang up a banner for 63 consecutive NFL games in which you knew who their left tackle was. Now, you guys remember the last time you were unsure about who the Chiefs' left tackle was. It was Mike Rimmers in the Super Bowl. And we all thought, man, you know what? They can scheme around it. They'll be okay. They were not okay. They did not scheme around it. They had their most embarrassing loss of the Mahomes era, and they lost the Super Bowl. And since that point, Brett Veach and Andy Reid, they have made every decision to create peacetime when it comes to that position. They went out and traded for Orlando Brown. They spent second-round picks, third-round picks. They picked up Donovan Smith. It has been peacetime for 63 games at the left tackle position for the Kansas City Chiefs. Peacetime has ended. They do not know who their left tackle is. I'm going to play for you what Andy Reid had to say. Rob and I thought this felt a little bit off. On Wednesday, when Andy Reid met with the media, he seemed very non-committal about who their offensive lineman is. Yesterday, whenever their offensive coordinator met with the media, he felt very non-committal on who their offensive lineman was going to be. We all knew Friday was when you make that announcement. We were going to get 2 updates today. We were going to find out about Kareem Hunt. They answered our question. He's not going to play on Sunday night, and we had a question about who the left tackle is going to be. They gave you the answer. They do not know who it is.
We'll keep Kareem down this game. The two tackles will both have an opportunity to get in there this game, the left tackles.
You know the age-old saying, if you have two quarterbacks, then you have no quarterbacks. The Kansas City Chiefs have told you what they feel today is their biggest weakness. That's not to say that in week 11 they won't have this figured out or when they get to the postseason, but with this declaration and that both of them are going to play, they have now told you what they think their weakness is. They have the cornerback situation figured out. Jalen Watson has emerged as their number 2 corner. There has been no other position on the field where I would say the check engine light is flashing. We saw it screaming at us on Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals. And they have just told you we don't have the answer right now. We are still in the course of figuring it out. If you ever wanted the example that the Chiefs maybe use the regular season to kind of tinker a little bit as we get closer and closer to the playoffs and deeper into the regular season, it's this. You know what they're having? They're having a training camp battle during the regular season. They spent 4 months telling us that everything was perfectly fine at left tackle. We then got a chance to see for ourselves it's not fine. Now they're going to go back and reevaluate. I think right now it is fair to put left tackle as a question mark. You know how in college depth charts sometimes they'll put either or at the quarterback position when they don't want you to know who it is? So I'm taking him at his word. Maybe you're not. 913-586-7965. Maybe you think this is gamesmanship and that Kingsley is going to play all the snaps in this game. I don't know why then they just couldn't come out and say it. With the way that they sat him down in week 2 and now looking ahead to this week, I don't think they have a clear and direct answer on who their left tackle is going to be, and going on the road against a team that I think is pretty decent in the Atlanta Falcons, that is certainly going to be something to watch. We'll get back to Chiefs and Falcons here coming up in a bit when we're joined by their color commentator for the Falcons Radio Network. A couple of days ago, we put Royals' Price is Right to bed. We will put another drive staple to bed coming up in just a bit. But before we do that, I want to tell you guys that the Royals have been given a gift from the baseball gods. Yes, they have been given a gift from the baseball gods. They're going up against Mason Black today. Now, some of you might be asking, who's Mason Black? Well, let me tell you who Mason Black is. My friends, he is 0-4 on the season. He doesn't have a win. Baseball season's almost over. I'm here to tell you that Mason Black this season has a 7.07 ERA this season. I'm here telling you that the Royals have gotten a gift from the baseball gods. The pitcher they are going up against today is terrible. He has pitched 28 innings. He has given up 37 hits. He has given up 22 earned runs. This kid's not good. If there was anything that could get this offense back going, could get this offense back humming and get them on board, it is somebody like Mason Black. If you were worried, if you were nervous, and then you take a quick look at who the probable pitcher is, hopefully this calms some of your nerves. I think for the most part, this show has remained very even-keeled on the Kansas City Royals. That's how we like to be, even-keeled. If they can't get going against this guy who has been getting beat like a piñata this season, they got serious problems. This is a game that you are an undeniable favorite with Michael Wacha going up against Mason Black. I think we're going to see 25,000 people out there. We know the weather's not going to be good this weekend. This might be the last chance for a lot of us to see the Royals this season at home. I think people are going out there to the stadium today. You guys got to get going against Mason Black. We gave you guys the numbers yesterday. We don't got to go over all of them today. They're 2 games up with 9 to go. Figure it out. You've got 6 consecutive games against teams who have a losing record, and the Washington Nationals, they're terrible. Figure out a way to win. Coming up in about 5 minutes, we're going to head to the ATL and be joined by their color commentator for the Falcons radio network. But before we do that, we have to do this for the final time. For the last time this season.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals. If you want to
Carrington, today's Random Royals lineup takes us back to the last time it was September 20th and the Royals were in the race. It is 2013. Here's today's Random Royals lineup. Leading off for the Royals in left field, Alex Gordon.
He definitely got 2 hits today.
No hits today.
Okay, never mind.
Batting second at first base, Eric Hosmer. Batting third, the center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Billy Butler.
Country breakfast.
Batting fifth, behind the plate, Salvador Perez. Batting sixth, at second base, Emilio Bonifacio.
Oh boy, this thing's about to fall off a cliff.
Batting seventh, at third base, Mike Moustakas.
Okay. Mike Moustakas hitting 7th. Things wasn't going so hot.
Batting eighth, the shortstop, Alcides Escobar.
Things wasn't going so hot.
And batting ninth on this date, in right field, Justin Maxwell.
Hey, Justin Maxwell. That Grand Slam's coming up in this Dayton Royals history. It's coming up. It's right around the corner.
By the way, the Royals won this day 2-1 on a great start from Irvin Santana. They beat the Rangers.
You know what? I hope history repeats itself today against the San Francisco Giants. Coming up on the other side, let's head to the ATL to be joined by Dave Archer. He does the color commentary for the Atlanta Falcons, getting you ready for Sunday Night Football.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Raise your glass to the start of Oktoberfest and keep it raised for our authentic Stein hoisting competition. Round up your crew and join in on Fridays throughout September, starting at 6 p.m. for the chance to win weekly prizes and Sam Adams swag.
What does it mean to be the official information technology provider for the Chiefs? It means everything. Technology Group Solutions makes sure everything runs flawlessly for the millions of fans that attend games and the hundreds of millions of fans that comprise Chiefs Kingdom around the world. Technology Group Solutions can deploy that same dedication, problem solving, and incredible service to ensure your business runs smoothly. Technology Group Solutions, powering Chiefs Kingdom, and ready to do the same for you.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig, an absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit CrownRoyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly. Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at BlueKC.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late? You can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Join 96.5 The Fan and Bud Light for the Fans Football Show with Mitchell Schwartz and Jay Binkley every Thursday in September starting at 6 at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Enjoy $5 talls, prizes, and Chiefs gear. For a list of locations, go to 965thefan.com. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Chiefs fans, it's Trent McDuffie. Welcome to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome into The Drive on a Red Friday. Let's take a trip to Atlanta and be joined by Dave Archer. He does color commentary for the Falcons radio network. Dave, happy to have you join us today.
Thanks, man. Good to be with you.
So the Falcons have had a little bit of quarterback uncertainty since Matt Ryan is retired and joined you and I in the media. You now pick up Kirk Cousins. We all know his track record coming from Washington and also Minnesota. What has adding Kirk Cousins meant to that organization?
Well, it's a stabilizer, certainly. He's an attention to detail guy. I mean, 12 years in the National Football League, and the success that he's had individually, the numbers he's been able to put up, some of those things lended a lot of credibility to who he is. But when he came in, I don't think a lot of us knew what kind of person he was until maybe you saw that quarterback series that was on Netflix, and you kind of got more of an inside look into what Kirk Cousins was all about. I mean, you saw a few clips here and there. You liked that coming in off the field when he was Washington and different places like that. But I think a lot of people didn't realize how thoughtful a guy he is, what an incredible teammate he is. And I think that's the biggest thing he's brought to the table is he wants to accentuate the guys around him. And I know maybe that's cliched to say, or a lot of people think, well, that's the way all quarterbacks are. But there's a lot of quarterbacks that are really kind of hung up on what they're doing. And then you're a subsidiary of that if you're playing around him. This guy is a service-oriented dude. He wants Drake London to be good. He wants Bijan Robinson to be great. And I think that bringing that attitude in, what can I do to maybe take you to another level in your game, really was a breath of fresh air. Because you're right, the last couple of years it's been a revolving door at quarterback and really uncertainty at quarterback.
Right now we're talking to Dave Archer. He is the color commentator for the Falcons radio network. It feels like that win was really necessary for really two entities. The Falcons as an organization, they don't have a lot of wins like that. It's sort of validation for the decision to go out and get Kirk Cousins. it also feels like there is a belief, a stigma around Kirk Cousins in those big primetime moments that he can't get it done. And for him to take his team on the road down the field in less than 2 minutes with no timeouts, it seems like that could be one of those games that becomes a catalyst for Atlanta's season.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think all of that is true. There's no question about that. I think Kirk, he was 3-10 in Monday night games, I believe, although he had won 3 of his last 4 primetime games. So he's won 4 of 5 now, and obviously that bodes well with Kansas City coming in on Sunday night, that he's had some success here recently in primetime games. But there's no question. Everything you're saying there, it's a young football team. Talking about you burned draft picks the last 3 years in the first round on offensive weapons, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. Those guys had some success in college, but really have not realized any success with the Atlanta Falcons, and really have kind of their growth as players have been stunted because of the quarterback play and really what we were offensively. So all of that is a benefit, and then to Kurt to kind of I don't know, credibility attached to it when you make that happen, when something like that happens for a team, it can be a catalyst. I think there's no question. The one thing we can't do here in Atlanta is overplay it. It's a cool moment. It was a great celebration after the game. But hey, in this league, it's not for long. You got to get ready and get ready to go. And this is a short week. You got the Super Bowl champs coming to town, the best quarterback on the planet coming in here. They've got to be ready to go. They got to flush that out of the system. Remember the feelings, because you want to keep that feeling, but then you got to rekindle that again this weekend.
Right now, we're talking to Dave Archer with the Falcons Radio Network. Let's move forward to Sunday Night Football, Chiefs and Falcons. Dave, it feels to me like Bijan Robinson is really the key to everything that they do. He's a guy that can run for 100 yards. He could catch for 75 yards out of the backfield. He is one of the true Swiss Army knives, do everything backs in this league.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. I mean, it was pretty cool on Monday night to see he and Saquon Barkley on the field at the same time. Those two guys are very similar players. They can do it all. And even to the extent where Bijan Robinson made 2 key blocks in the game. In fact, the touchdown pass that Cousins throws to Mooney in the third quarter, I believe, that's a play that Bijan Robinson steps up and picks up the blitzing linebacker. So a lot of other stuff maybe that goes unsung, like blocking and those kind of things. He had a chip block on the edge to help provide Cousins some more time to throw the football. So, yeah, the ball in his hands, certainly a difference maker. There's no question he's a catalyst to blending the run game with the pass game. There's no question about that. Tyler Algier is a guy that comes in off the bench, and as much as people say it's thunder and lightning with the great speed and the versatility that Bijan brings to the table, and then Tyler Algier comes in as that bowling ball, bang it back at 225 pounds. There's a lot of similarities to them, too. They both can make people miss in a phone booth. They both can catch the ball in the backfield. So it's a good 1-2 punch at running back, but certainly Bijan Robinson is the headliner.
When you look at the passing game, who do you see kind of the catalyst in that? Is it Bijan and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield? Drake London? I mean, it feels like it's a really well-balanced attack with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Ray McLeod. You pick him up from San Francisco. Darnell Mooney from Chicago. He played well on Monday Night Football. It feels like Kirk Cousins has about 4 to 6 weapons at his disposal.
Well, and that's the key, right? I mean, that's something that you want as a quarterback, is to be able to have different guys that can affect the game and maybe win the game for you. I mean, we haven't even really talked about Kyle Pitts. I mean, Kyle is as good a tight end, pass-catching tight end as you're going to see. We just haven't seen enough. We saw it his rookie year, and then his growth has been stunted based on quarterback play. We're hoping that that's going to blossom here with Kirk. It hasn't yet in the first 2 weeks. He's caught a couple passes. He caught a couple of key moments, got a touchdown pass against the Steelers, but it's really been a few far between. Drake London, we saw Drake London, some of the things he can do the first 2 years of his career. He's got like 140 catches in his first 2 seasons, but still the effect of a game and winning a game like he did on Monday night, those things are coming. And then you bring in, like you said, Mooney and Ray McLeod, who've been around the league. They've had some moments in their career, but no really star moments. So it's a blend of guys that are kind of coming together to try to develop an identity with one another. And Kirk Cousins is the key. He's the guy that's distributed. He talked about openly after the game that he was disappointed that he didn't get more people involved. So that's, again, his service-oriented background and him wanting to get everybody involved in the game is going to help him but it's certainly going to bring these guys out and let them be known a little bit more as mainline guys.
We're talking to Dave Archer, the color commentator for the Falcons radio network here for a couple of more minutes. From a defensive perspective, how do you think Atlanta matches up with Kansas City?
Well, hey, that's always the trick, right? I mean, because the quarterback is a different dude. I think that anybody that heard the press conference with Raheem Morris this week, he called Patrick an alien because you just don't see him. I mean, he's a different kind of guy. Yeah, he's the best player on the planet. He can do stuff when things are off schedule. He can do stuff on schedule, and so he seems to be able to accentuate whoever he plays with. And now the cast of characters that he's got around him with the two young receivers that can run. Obviously, Kelce is a guy that can completely break your back, and you wonder what's going to happen at running back Pacheco. That's a tough loss, losing Pacheco for a few weeks. But Kareem Hunt comes in, a guy that's familiar with the system. So there's a lot to do defensively for the Falcons. Falcons are much better up front than they've been in recent years. Matthew Judon coming in is a legitimate problem from a pass protection standpoint. Grady Jarrett's back, who's a big-time inside rusher and creates problems. I think they like all three levels of their defense. They got linebackers that can run. The two safeties are probably, you could argue that they're probably the two of the best safeties in the National Football League. That might be one of the best duos with Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates at the safety spot. J.J. Terrell's solid at the corner. So I think they like their defense. Their defense has played well the first 2 weeks. Got our first turnover, which was a key one. Jesse Bates gets the interception to win the game last year after his all-pro season last season. And 6 interceptions, so that side of it's coming around. They want to get some more sacks and some more turnovers, but they're hoping that'll come. But it's a solid unit. Jimmy Lake's done a good job of them. Raheem Morris chipping in there as a former D coordinator with the LA Rams. So there's a lot of concentration on that side of the ball, and they did a lot of upgrading on that side of football. So I think they feel good about the matchup. I mean, as good as you can feel about the Super Bowl champs coming in to find a way to win just about any possible way. So I think they realize that this is a huge challenge, but they're excited about the opportunity.
2 final questions here, Dave. The first one is, give me an X factor for the Falcons on the offensive end. Give me somebody on the defensive end, because you got a lot of weapons. There's a lot of speed with Xavier Worthy, McCole Hardman. They have the best tight end in the National Football League in Travis Kelce. There's a lot of weapons. Who's somebody that needs to play well on the offensive side and the defensive side for the Falcons?
Well, I would lean on the guy I mentioned earlier, is Kyle Pitts, because we have not seen him burst out. He had a really good training camp. He looked a lot like the rookie in 2021 that went for over 1,000 yards and made the Pro Bowl. I think he's due for a burst out type game. And looking at the tape against New England, it looked like Burrow was able to get the football to the tight end some in that game. I think that he's a matchup problem because of his size and his wingspan. He's about due to burst out and have a game. So I guess I would lean towards Kyle Pitts in that group. Defensively, you mentioned the different weapons that's going to happen. I think the linebacker core and the safeties are going to have to be keys. I know that's not one per particular person, but I guess I'd lean on those two safeties, Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons, because of the effect that they can have potentially on changing coverage, maybe trying to make things a little bit confusing if you can do that to a guy that's of the caliber that Patrick Mahomes is, but trying to take Kelce away. Don't let Kelce break your back. Keep drives alive. Those are the kind of things. But I think it's going to have to be a team effort on defense. I don't think you can pick one guy out that's going to make a difference for Atlanta defensively. They just got to try to hold on to the rope and slow Kansas City down.
That is Dave Archer joining us on the show today. He is the color commentator for the Falcons Radio Network, getting you ready for Sunday Night Football, Chiefs and Falcons. You can catch that on NBC. Dave, great stuff today. Appreciate the insight on the Falcons. I think this is going to be a close game. This was one of the games that we asked this question on the show leading into the season. If I give you $1 million and I tell you have to pick the Chiefs' first loss, what game would you pick? I picked Atlanta. I think the Chiefs are walking into a tough spot here, and they're also banged up. I think this is going to be a really, really difficult win for Kansas City to leave with.
Well, I hope you're right from an Atlanta perspective. I just hope it's a great football game for the fans to watch. I think it will be. And both these teams have played in close games the first 2 weeks, so I think that they're both ready to play one down to the wire.
That is Dave Archer joining us on the show today. Dave, great stuff. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, man. Good to be with you.
Rob, do you think that I am maybe a little too worried and too nervous about this game? I'm looking at the next two games that they have, and I know I have the nickname Chargers Dot, but we'll see what the health and status is of Justin Herbert. If Herbert's not healthy, then that is not a game that I am worried about. The Chiefs are not losing the Easton Stick. But I think about this game. Chiefs coming in the more banged up of the two teams. Left tackle uncertainty, wide receiver. Now we know the status of Hollywood Brown. He's not going to be in this game. Isaiah Pacheco is also out. So their offense is not what we think it's going to be 4 or 5 weeks from now. You're going on the road to play this Atlanta team. Sunday Night Football just feels like a place that you know is going to be rocking and have that energy. I'm more worried about this game than I was in the first two games, even though I think those two teams, at least coming into the season, were better than Atlanta. I think this is a difficult spot. I think the line movement, and I want to play something for you guys from Chad Millman, who's the head of the Action Network. I think the line movement also goes to show you that the people that do this for a living, that gamble on these games, they're on the Falcons this upcoming week.
So I'm torn because a part of me agrees with you, and we'll play the cut here in a second. The Sharps agree with you. Even before I hear the cut from Chad Millman, the line opened at 5.5, 5 depending on where you bet, and it's down to 3, 3.5 depending on where you bet, which would make you feel like the money's coming in on Atlanta. And I said yesterday, being on the side of Vegas is a good side to be on, but on a short week, primetime Kirk, it's hard for me to wrap my head around the sentence, and you're the one that always tells me to say it out loud test. Kirk Cousins on Sunday Night Football beats Patrick Mahomes is not a sentence that I expect to say at any point in my NFL life. So
you're 100% right, but to be fair, I would have never told you that Kirk Cousins was also going down the field with 2 minutes to go and no timeouts on Monday Night Football in Philadelphia either. So this Falcons team, I think, is pretty balanced. I think they have a top 5 running back room in the NFL. I think they've got decent pieces on the outside. I don't want to paint Atlanta like I think they're some juggernaut team, but I think this is a team that at home poses a pretty dangerous threat to Kansas City. I want to play this audio for you guys. This is Chad Millman. He was on Colin Cowherd's podcast. So every Friday he does his Sharp or Square. He goes through some of the lines. This is one of my favorite podcasts of the week. And the Chiefs game came up. The line has been moving here. Here is Chad Millman, who is a professional bettor. Here is his logic for why he is taking Atlanta in this game.
Falcons plus 3.5 Sharp or Square.
Totally sharp. The wise guys have been moving this. It was at 4.5, then to 4, now to 3.5. Would not be surprised if it gets down to 3. Two sides of the coin, both telling the same story, which is fade the Chiefs. On the one side, Patrick Mahomes, as a favorite of more than 3 points, historically, he is under 500. Now, of course, Patrick Mahomes is almost always a favorite and oftentimes a favorite of more than 3 points. So there is some, take that with a grain of salt, but it is the fact. This offensive line is in trouble. They have injuries. They are sitting starters. They have guys who are causing too many penalties. Like you said, there are still some questions at the receiver positions. Rashee Rice, great, but outside of that, what is your downfield threat? We haven't seen it from Worthy other than some really cool trick plays. Pacheco, I think, is a massive problem being out. And Mahomes hasn't looked that good, right? You look at the Chiefs, the Ravens, a shoe toe away from being in that game and tying that game. You look at the Bengals, a 4th down pass interference against a rookie. The Chiefs could easily be 1-1 or 0-2. Number 2, their rush defense, as great as Chris Jones is, their rush defense is amongst the worst in the league. We know the Falcons can run the ball. We just saw them do that against the Eagles. And even better than that, their right side of their line, especially their interior center and right guard, they are as good at run blocking as anybody in football. You are correct with the wise guys. Atlanta plus 3.5.
A couple of things based on what Chad Millman had to say. That was on the Colin Cowherd podcast. First thing, you can do the shoulda, coulda, woulda game for Kansas City. Absolutely. If Isaiah Likely steps in bounds, the Ravens go for 2. Maybe they get it, maybe they don't. If the officials don't call the pass interference, you can absolutely do the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. You also have to be willing to do that for Atlanta as well, right? This is the same team that lost at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers 2 weeks ago. This is the same team that if Saquon Barkley catches the pass or the Eagles make the decision to run the ball, the Falcons probably lose on Monday night. So I'm with you. If you want to play the ifs and buts game for the Chiefs, you absolutely can in the first 2 weeks. You also have to do that for their opponent, where the Falcons should probably be 0-2 heading into this, and you're talking about a team that is desperate to get a win because you can't fall 3 games back of the other teams in your division. So that reason falls a little bit on deaf ears to me. This is the comparison that I'll make for this game, and you guys tell me if you think I'm off here. 913-586-7965. This feels like a KU road game in conference play. I know the Falcons aren't in the Chiefs division. But, Rob, you know how every year they go on the road to Iowa State, and it's a little bit of a spot, right? You know it's going to be a tough environment. Iowa State's a good team. If KU wins, they win in a absolute slugfest, or there's a possibility they get blown out. That's kind of what this game feels like to me. Now, I don't think the Chiefs get blown out. But I do think if you're looking at it objectively, there are reasons to pick against the Chiefs in this game. They're banged up right now. Left tackle situation. The Chiefs did not play well last week. That is a game way more than I think you can do with week 1. The Chiefs probably should have lost last week. I think the confidence in this game is the confidence you have going into every single Chiefs game. Man, they got Patrick Mahomes. And if you're going to give me Patrick Mahomes and you're going to give me just a simple, do you think they win the game? Well, they win 65% of the times when he's their starting quarterback. The smart side is always that the Chiefs are going to win and figure this out. There's not going to be many games this season that make me feel uneasy about Kansas City. But this is one of the games, given what we saw last week from both of these teams, given the fact that the Chiefs are going on the road, given the fact that the Chiefs are banged up. If you were going to play the Chiefs, this is as good of a spot as any to play them. I don't know if that's going to be the case in week 8. It's certainly not late in the season as the Chiefs kind of wrap into form. If you're going to play Kansas City, this week 3 is probably the week you would pick.
I love your KU basketball analogy right there. I really do, because it does feel like, you know, that early season, maybe not even Iowa State, maybe a team, a little lesser team, like a West Virginia. It seems like KU's always playing West Virginia in January. It's a dogfight or they're boat raced. And as a KU fan, before that game every year, you tell people, this game has a weird feeling. I know KU is better than West Virginia, but this game has an odd feeling. And that's when all you non-KU fans make fun of us. That's when you say, what are you talking about? You have blah, blah, blah. You have Bill Self. You'll be fine. And they lose that game, and, you know, it is what it is. That's kind of what I feel about this Falcons game. I think the Chiefs are the more talented roster. I think the Chiefs are better coached. I think the Chiefs have the better quarterback. I think the Chiefs are better in primetime. I think all the things about why the Chiefs should be better than the Falcons and are better than the Falcons, and everything tells you logically, why do I have any fear? Atlanta on a short week, there's reason after reason after reason to pick the Chiefs and logically say, oh yeah, they're the better team. But there is a feeling around this game. There is a, you know, it gives me pause. I was listening to Josh Briscoe earlier today on Cody and Gold, and he said there's an odd sensation about the Chiefs surrounding this game. And I can't put my finger on it other than just exactly what we said about KU basketball. There's a game every year where they're the better team and you just have a weird feeling and weird stuff starts happening. And we've seen that with the past and the Chiefs too, especially early in the season.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you here. Text line 913-586-7965. This game worries me a little bit. I didn't feel very worried. I remember last week I was overly confident about the Bengals, and you guys were trying to talk me out of being how confident I was against Cincinnati. I didn't think that Cincinnati could beat Kansas City. They came really close to doing it, but they didn't. Of the first 4 games of the season, this was the one that worried me, but at the beginning of the season, and now that we've seen both teams play 2 games, I haven't really been moved off that spot. The Falcons got a top 5 running back room. They have 4 or 5, I would say, legitimate weapons on the outside. Atlanta is capable of winning this game at home on Sunday Night Football. Coming up on the other side, Rob and I are going to give you a parlay. We're going to give you a college football parlay to help you guys out. Also give you one for the NFL. And we'll also get back to the Kansas City Royals. Vern is going to join us in 20 minutes. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
We got a great sports weekend on tap in Kansas City, and there's no better place to catch the game than with my friends over at the other place. They got great game day specials available during every Kansas City game. So a 14-inch two-topping pizza is $12. 8 wings and a basket of tots is $12. They got $4 domestics. It's the next best thing to being at the stadium. So it doesn't matter if you're catching soccer this weekend, basketball or football, the best game day atmosphere is over at the other place.
When it comes to financial goals, everyone has that one thing you want to accomplish. Raise your credit score, give your kitchen a well-deserved glow-up, or eliminate credit card debt. At Main Street Credit Union, your main thing, well, that's our thing. It's what we're passionate about, helping you achieve your main thing. So bring us your wants, your needs, and your goals. We'll provide you with the tools to achieve them. Go to mainstreetcu.org for more information.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids.
Faster! I'd rather play catch with my dog than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. If you are 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'd rather race for some ice cream. Let's go!
Schedule your vaccination today at Prevnar20.com.
Intimacy. Those special moments when we're together and deeply connected to the one we love. Truly, there are few times in life as wonderful as these. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and it's the restoration of intimacy that makes me most proud of the work we do in treating erectile dysfunction for our patients. ED is an intimacy destroyer. Research shows that men can draw apart from their partners when ED affects their sex life. The condition causes stress, anxiety, and depression. Even worse, a man's partner can even blame themselves when ED becomes a problem. For us at Heartland Men's Health, this is unacceptable because ED is simply a medical condition like any other, and we have many treatment options and treatment combinations that can stop ED in its tracks. In fact, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. So call us and get back those intimate moments. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and now North Kansas City.
What if I told you that there was a single management software that could handle your CRM, accounting, manufacturing, marketing, inventory, sales, and everything in between for a fraction of the cost of the dozens of disconnected platforms most companies rely on to manage their business? Sounds pretty good, right? Well, that's Odoo. Odoo is the end-all, be-all for any business of any size, and it's ready to help your company reach the next level and beyond. Learn more at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
IBM and the United States Tennis Association are teaming up and using generative AI to deliver an improved experience for tennis fans around the world. The 2024 U.S. Open digital platforms offer never-before-seen features to bring fans even closer to the action inside Billie Jean King Tennis Center. New long-form post-match summaries mean fans can access detailed analysis for all 254 U.S. Open singles matches within minutes for near-instant coverage at unprecedented scale. To learn more about this new feature and others, visit usopen.org or download the U.S. Open app. Sponsored by IBM.
Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS. Follow all the action and stream your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, all the way through the AFC Championship. Sign up, sign in, and start streaming Paramount Plus today.
This afternoon, expect a sunny day with a high of 92.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into The Drive. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you. Coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to be joined by Josh Vernier. I also want to play something for you guys that our boss man, Steven Spector, had to say. We might start a new segment called Spector Says. He always has one interesting take on the game. Instead of me telling you it, we should just play for you what he had to say. All right, before we get to that, let me give you guys one college parlay that you should play this week. Let me give you one NFL parlay that you should play. So I'll give you a game. Rob will give you a pick. We'll do both in college and the NFL, and hopefully we make you a little bit of money. We made you guys money in week 2 of the college football season. I don't know why you're not listening to us. All right, Rob. For college football, I am going to take Alex Orji. For those of you who don't know who he is the starting quarterback now at Michigan. Now, he is a run-first quarterback. They had a different quarterback, Davis Warren. He got replaced. You know what the running quarterback does when things go wrong? He runs. This is not a game in which you think he's going to throw for a lot of yards. Think of him like a lesser version of Avery Johnson. 1-2 read. If it's not there, I'm going to take off. The lines usually are not reflective of that early on. So his rush yards are kind of low in this one. It's at 45.5. I'm taking the over. I actually think Michigan has a chance to pull off the upset here. I like USC. They are not Texas. USC is not going in to the big house and rolling over the Wolverines. I think they're going to be scrappy. I think they're going to be far more competitive than they were a couple of weeks ago against the Longhorns. Give me Alex Orji. I'm going to take his over on rush yards.
I like LSU this weekend minus 21.5. They are playing in Baton Rouge against UCLA. UCLA is real bad. I don't know if you saw it, and there was no reason to see it this weekend. UCLA at home lost to Indiana. Indiana. I know they're calling themselves 9-Windiana right now, and that's a cute little saying, but Indiana should not be thumping you in the Rose Bowl. It's West team going east into a literal swamp in Baton Rouge. LSU minus 21.5. You play Orji over and LSU minus 21.5 over on our friends at FanDuel, and you get plus 271, Carrington.
All right, go ahead and take you a little plus 271. That's not bad action at all. All right, for my NFL bet this week, I'm going to go off the grid again. I'm not going to give you a game. I'm going to give you a pick. I'm going to give you Tank Dell over on rush yards. It's all about finding and exploiting something in the so you might be thinking, well, Tank Dell plays wide receiver. Factor this in. Joe Mixon banged up for this team, so they're not going to have their usual starting running back. What if I told you that so far this season, Tank Dell already has 51 rushing yards? You're telling me his over-under is at 5.5? He's also going to get the opportunities. So I think the number's way too low here. I think they use him in the run game. I think he has 1 or 2 rushes, and he gets at least 6 yards rushing. Give me the over for Tank Dell.
I will take the Detroit Lions minus 3. This feels like an overreaction line. The Cardinals were salty in week 1 against the Bills. They dominated the Rams last week. They are a better football team than we think, but the Lions had a bad week at home against Baker Mayfield, and I think they're being a little bit undervalued here. Everyone thinks the Lions are the better team. I think they bounce back. If I know I'm giving away a few points, but I like the Lions -3 at Arizona. You play Tankdale rushing yards and the Lions -3. Play that, and you get plus 244, Carrington.
All right, those are our two parlays for the weekend. We'll see how we do in college football and the NFL. I want to play this cut for you guys before we catch up with Vern. Vern's going to join us coming up in 10 minutes. We'll get back to the Kansas City Royals. So Speck and I have been talking a lot this week about the Chiefs game, and listen to what he said about Atlanta. He's got a theory.
Carrington, I hear you say this all the time. The NFL is a week-to-week matchup league. But the other factor in that is what happened last week in those teams' games, and are they looking potentially ahead to the following week's games? But last Monday night in that Falcons comeback win over the Eagles, that was good news for the Chiefs. Here are the two scenarios. The Falcons lose, they're 0-2, and they are absolutely desperate for a win at home on Sunday Night Football in their own building. Now they're 1-1. They had the absolute emotional high of the NFL, which is a 2-minute drive, game-winning touchdown pass. Now they have to emotionally rebound, short week against the best team in the NFL. If you're a Chiefs fan, I think it's a good thing that the Falcons came back to beat the Eagles last week in 1-1 as opposed to being desperate at 0-2.
All right. It's an interesting theory by Steven Spector. Let's dive into this. 913-586-7965. I think it's a little bit of fun with endpoints, and you can kind of play the results. Because I think you can very easily spin it as in Atlanta is coming in with an emotional high back home after a game that they should have lost on Monday night. Like, if you're somebody who is a stickler for win probability, they should have lost on Monday night. Now, they didn't. They fought from behind. They won the game. Kudos to them. They're 1-1. But they should have lost. I'm probably going to side with I don't agree with this when it comes to this take. I certainly understand the theory of it. If the Falcons were 0-2, they're a more dangerous team. I just don't think that part matters, at least not in this game. I'm much more worried about the Chiefs' ability to protect their quarterback in this game and their ability to run the football. That's really what I think it comes down to in this game. Are the Chiefs going to be balanced in this game? Are they going to win the line of scrimmage? They have, I would say, a pretty big question mark. You have question marks about Carson Steele. I can't make it seem like I know what he's going to do in this game or what his ceiling is in this game. And earlier today, the head coach of the team comes out and says that they have a rotation currently at left tackle. So how the Chiefs lose this game is the Chiefs become one-dimensional and they also can't protect their quarterback, and that just kind of snowballs in a one-game sample size scenario. So I don't put too much stock into this, Spec, but I did find it interesting, Spec's theory on this.
I mean, I don't think it's the worst theory in the world. I mean, we saw what a back-against-the-wall team looked like last week in Kansas City. The Bengals were desperate to avoid 0-2, and frankly, they outplayed the Chiefs for 59 minutes, really all but one defensive pass interference play. I could argue that the Bengals outplayed the Chiefs. I think a team that got a little moment, especially on a Monday night, a short week, a little more relaxed. Hey, people think we're still good because they were carrying expectations in the preseason. I think that team is far more vulnerable than a Falcons team that's 0-2, but I think it goes from the Falcons were a fear level of 7 to a fear level of 5.5. Like, I'd be scared no matter what, but there's still a sensation or a feeling around this Falcons team that has me a little bit flummoxed.
Let me ask you this question. Are the Chiefs the only team that would be favored in this scenario? So let's say San Francisco went on the road, and I understand their left tackle is a lot better than the Chiefs' left tackle. But if San Francisco was missing their left tackle and their running back, they would not be 3-point favorites in this game. Let's say it was the Lions and they didn't have their left tackle, and you can pick David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs was out for this game. I'm not sure if they would be favorites on the road against Atlanta. To me, the point spread is the ultimate sign of respect of even though you are banged up right now, going on the road where there usually is a home field advantage, we still consider you to be the favorite because you're Kansas City. And until proven otherwise, the expectation is always that the Chiefs are going to take care of business and win. And from a gambling perspective, there's only so many points you're going to give me with Patrick Mahomes on the other side where it's just, hey, the smart money is to be on the side of number 15. So it is a really interesting spot on both sides, whether it's the Chiefs as a slight favorite in this game or you're trying to get value of Atlanta being the underdog in this game. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to switch gears and talk some baseball. We're going to head to Kauffman Stadium and be joined by Josh Vernier as the Royals have their most important home series of the year against the San Francisco Giants. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
When a KU versus K-State rivalry game begins, emotions run high, legends are created, school pride hangs in the balance. Memories that last a lifetime will be made, because each game is the most important game in history. At least, until the next one. Get in the game with your chance to win up to $50,000. The Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery. See kslottery.com for details.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate Coaches with Character to nominate today.
It's a Red Friday on 96.5 The Fan, and the other place is your sports watching headquarters this fall. Now with 5 great area locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Enjoy Red Friday specials all day.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with cancer? You want the most knowledgeable physicians with the latest technology. That's KCPI, the Kansas City Proton Institute. KCPI has a full suite of the most advanced imaging and treatment technology necessary to localize high-intensity proton beams. That's a critical part of maximizing cure rates while minimizing recovery time and long-term side effects. Proton therapy provides patients with the most advanced form of radiation treatments for cancer. It destroys cancer cells with supreme accuracy, reducing the risk of harmful side effects. KCPI has Kansas City's first and only system that uses pencil beam technology, resulting in precision targeting and less radiation to your surrounding healthy tissue. Proton therapy is now available in the comfort of an office at KCPI, making it more efficient and affordable than a hospital. So contact KCPI for the most knowledgeable physicians with the latest technology. Don't wait. Get precision technology with the highest safety measures with KCPI. Online at kcpi.com.
Last call. This offer is almost over. All FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then, with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account, current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Full price of NFL Sunday Ticket will be automatically charged seasonally after free trial. No refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
You can host the best backyard barbecue
when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Vanguard is 100% client-owned, serving over 50 million investors every day. Whether you're planning for retirement, putting your kids through college, or saving up for your next adventure, Vanguard can help you set personalized investment goals. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Copyright 2024, The Vanguard Group, Inc., all rights reserved, Vanguard Marketing Corporation Distributor.
Sponsored by Robert Half.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Hey, it's Justin Reed, and you're listening to the home of the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back into the show on 96.5 The Fan. Let's head out to Kauffman Stadium right now and be joined by the Royals insider, Josh Vernier. Vern, it has been a long time since you have come on the show in September.
Yeah, without a question. It's nice to be here, nice to talk about a team that is still in position for the postseason. C-Dot, who would you most prefer to be a fan of? The Detroit Tigers, the Minnesota Twins, or the Kansas City Royals as we sit here with 9 games to play?
I mean, I think you would have to pick the Royals. You know we love a basketball analogy on this show. It feels like in a basketball game, the Royals were up 12, but now they're up 4, and now fans are acting like they're down. You're like, wait, hold on. They're still winning the game. If the game ended right now, Rob and I were having this conversation. This is the difference between what the math is telling you, that the math still tells you the Royals are overwhelmingly going to make the postseason, as opposed to how you feel and how they are playing. I mean, they've lost 15 of the last 22 games. They haven't given you a whole lot of reasons to feel very hopeful and optimistic the last 3 weeks.
No question, especially offensively, struggling with runners in scoring position. Since Vinny Pasquantino went down, they're averaging a run and a half fewer per game. But when you look at those teams that you're competing with right now, Detroit, who, that performance we saw, that 3-game stretch was as impressive a performance that an opposing team has had at Kauffman Stadium. It's that's what Boston did here. Yeah, you could make a case, maybe the Yankees, but wow, did Detroit look good. But 9 games to play. Tarek Skubal's a stud, but they're piecemealing together that rotation. They're piecemealing together those 9 innings. You have, as Royals fans, you have Lugo, Reagans, and tonight Michael Wacha. Minnesota sure has Bailey Ober and Pablo Lopez, and that's why I think the 2 teams that own the tiebreakers and the Royals and Twins are still in the best position as we head down the stretch.
I mean, I would say the biggest reason why I feel good, let's stop worrying about the math and just looking at the standings. I would feel very different if they didn't have the 3rd wild card spot for it to be a soft landing spot for the Royals. If this was the old rules, I think you'd be really nervous about where the Royals are. But in this, you don't have to be better than the Twins and the Tigers. You have to be better than the Twins or the Tigers. And I think the math, again, is then firmly in your favor that you're going to have a better record than one of those 2 teams. Maybe not both of those 2 teams with the way the Tigers are playing. But because you have that extra wild card spot and now it's 3 teams fighting for 2 spots, you got to feel good with 9 games to go that you have the advantage, especially because the Twins, they have not been playing well the last 10 days.
Yeah, and I think that's there's a lot of different ways to take that. That to me is one of the reasons why you don't see a 100-win team, why you're not likely going to see teams try and build superpowers anymore, because, man, you look in both leagues, for as exciting as the 3rd wild card race may be, how much better would it be if you had the old ways where you're playing a 1-game win or go home wild card game like we saw back in the day. No, having that cushion, as you called it, yeah, that's obviously beneficial in having the the season series already in your back pocket with Detroit, even prior to that, going into that series that just concluded, knowing that no matter what happens, if you both end with 89 wins, the Royals are going to get the edge. The Royals are going to find themselves in the postseason, and then you throw into the, what's happening to Baltimore right now is they refuse to pull away with that top wild card spot. Baltimore and Detroit about to go at it tonight. Baltimore still has the Yankees and the Minnesota Twins, so yeah, obviously I'm fixated on the Twins, the Tigers, and the race in the division, but who knows with this Orioles team. They have Corbin Burns going tonight, but other than him, you wonder if they'll end up finding their way back into the pack as well.
I know there's no way to get the definitive answer to this, but would this losing streak, would this skid be happening if the Vinny Pasquantino injury didn't occur?
I would have to say no, because what ails this team right now is what Vinny excels at, and that's hitting good pitching. Now, I say that like it's easy to do. I mean, there's a reason why Vinny was one of the 10 best hitters in baseball when it comes to clutch situations, 2 outs and a man in scoring position. He was, the only players, and I've mentioned this to you before, the only players in baseball that had better numbers in big spots than Vinny are all former MVPs or future Hall of Famers. The Royals, since losing Vinny Pasquantino, are barely hitting above the Mendoza line with runners in scoring position. With Vinny Pasquantino, they led baseball in batting average with runners in scoring position. They've they're missing that lefty bat right now, because if you stack up the best plate appearances on this team right now, it goes Bobby, Salvi, and then probably Yuli Gurriel or Tommy Pham and Hunter Renfroe hopefully starting to turn it around. That's a lot of veteran right-handed bats. You're looking at Michael Massey, Kyle Isbell, MJ Melendez. You want one of those young Royals that are in their first postseason race. You need them to step up. If not now, certainly come October.
Can I read to you a couple of texts from earlier on the show? So the Royals are going up against Mason Black. You're obviously aware that Mason Black has not had a great start to his season. He is 0-4. He has an over 7 ERA. This is what the text line said. CDOT, the Royals are going to get no hit through 8. Oh, boy, a no-hitter from San Francisco. This sounds like the perfect guy to throw 7 scoreless and strike out 9. Carrington, how could you say this? You've now jinxed the Royals. Vern, we can't even be hopeful that the baseball gods have given them. He is probably one of the 3 worst starting pitchers going on the bump today for any team in Major League Baseball. If you can't get going against this guy today, what are we doing here?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Listen. There's no excuse to lose this game or lose this series. Not because the walls are closing in on you, but because you're the better team and the playoffs start soon. Pick it up. Both players, coaches, the fans, these final 3 games, everybody needs to pick it up a little bit.
Right now, we're joined by our guy, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show today. Who are you more worried about? Is it the Tigers or the Twins?
Well, I don't know if I would say you're talking about both of them passing the Royals and knocking them out of the postseason. I don't see that happening. Could one? Sure, yeah. But like you mentioned, having that 3rd wild card spot is just such a cushion. Having the season series advantage over Detroit is such a cushion. Come October, Tarek Skubal and a nasty bullpen are certainly formidable. Pablo Lopez, Bailey Ober are a tough one too, but man, come October, it's just such a different game. It becomes tournament baseball more so than normal regular season, day in, day out baseball. Come the ALDS and the ALCS, you have days off after game 1, game 3, so you can throw your big dogs out of the bullpen, right? Herrera, Davis, and Holland can each pitch 2 innings of every single game, so you're not asking much from your rotation. So I think that's an advantage for Houston, as they're going to have not only big dogs in their rotation, but big dogs in their bullpen. It's an advantage for the Padres, the Dodgers, the Guardians. But Kansas City, come tournament baseball, I don't think it bodes well for them unless an Alec Marsh, Chris Bubich, Brady Singer, someone like that just thrives in a new role come October. But, starting pitching has obviously gotten this team this far. I think starting pitching can be the reason why you win the wild card series. But starting pitching alone, I don't believe will be enough to get this team past the DS, past the CS. So as far as who would I fear most come October, I'll lean Minnesota just because of the veteran presence in their lineup. Yeah, with Correa, with Buxton, with guys that have at least been to October before to go along with those top two in the rotation, I'll still lean Minnesota, even though, that fan base and that bullpen right now are in the same sort of free fall that Royals fans can easily find themselves in with their bullpen.
Last thing here, Vern, and I think this is the kind of disappointing part of all of this, that I'm with you. I think the Royals are going to make the postseason. I don't care where those games are. I don't care if they're in Baltimore. I don't care if they're in New York. You made the postseason. That is a tremendous accomplishment from where they were last season. Part of me does think, man, they left the door wide open. Like, the Orioles have not played well in the second half of the season, that whatever postseason games that they have, those games should be in Kansas City.
Yeah, but, look up and down. Again, this is, to me, a reason why I don't need 12 teams to make the playoffs. We're playing 162 freaking games. I have an idea of who the 5 best or the 10 best in baseball are. I don't need to add an additional 2 because, as we're seeing, it's every man for themselves. It's a free fall from Baltimore. The Royals have dropped 7 of the last 19. The Twins can't get out of their own ways. You're seeing the same thing happen over in the National League. Not too many teams as of now. Again, things can change quickly, but not too many teams, especially in the American League, are finishing with a flourish. Again, to me, I'm just hearing a lot of reflections as to why expanding the postseason without cutting down the regular season, to me, it just makes no sense.
That is our guy, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show today. He is our Royals insider. He is live at Kauffman Stadium. This question is more for me than anything. I said that we're not talking about attendance anymore on the show, but I am curious how many people are going to be out there because I am going to the game today, and I'm hopeful that it's a great environment at the K tonight.
Yeah, I'm hopeful as well. Fireworks normally turn the people out, although the most recent Friday game in September was the lowest attended Friday night game since April. I have no idea what to expect. I'm hoping for 25, but I don't know. I haven't asked yet, so I don't have the number. But, man, I would like to think it would be north of 30, but I just have no reason to believe that, so I'm hoping for 25.
You know what, Ken? When you find out, just text me because I actually do want to know. I'm excited to go to the game today. They haven't had a Friday night game with this level of importance in a long time. This is the game that I want to be at. That's our guy, Vern, joining us. Vern, we appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
I told you guys earlier that I was going to give you 2 chances to win a pizza. This is that second chance. 913-586-7965. You have to answer one question correctly. If you answer it correctly, I'll give you a pizza. If not, we'll hang up on you and give it to somebody else. Call right now. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Many of us are looking forward to retirement. But when it's time to tap into your savings, do you know how long your money will last? Make a game plan for your retirement income distribution from UMB Private Wealth. They'll create a custom strategy for you to help make your hard-earned retirement savings last. Just go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your personal appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
You've been waiting, and now is the time. Golden Oak Lending has fixed mortgage rates at 4.875%. But don't wait. This rate won't last forever. Call today and take advantage of our low 4.875 fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
5.784 APR. FHA 15-year 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
What's up, Kansas City? It's Mitchell Schwartz. You know, there's nothing easier to enjoy than watching the Chiefs with some wings and an ice-cold Bud Light. And Buffalo Wild Wings is serving up both for every game, all season long. Join me at the Buffalo Wild Wings located off Berry Road and Prairie Drive in KC-Mo on Thursday, September 26th. I'll be there with the crew from 6 to 8 p.m. celebrating the back-to-back Super Bowl champs while eating some wings and drinking $5 Bud Lights. Nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. For more details, go to 965thefan.com. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit the Grand Slam jackpot with BetMGM. Score a $50,000 bonus bet jackpot when a player you bet on to hit homer slugs a grand slam. Simply head over to BetMGM and place a home run prop bet during this weekend's games. You can now place one for each game, giving you more chances to win. If the player you bet on goes yard with the bases loaded, you'll win a share of $50,000 in bonus bets on top of your wager. BetMGM is stepping up to the plate to knock it out of the park this year for baseball fans in Kansas. Take advantage of great home run odds, new ways to enjoy all 9 innings with more same-game parlay options, and exclusive signature bets found nowhere else. Swing for the Grand Slam jackpot this season with BetMGM, official sports betting partner of the MLB.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation. Because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no 2 cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and now North Kansas City.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
The new John Deere Gator XUV lets you cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, feed, pull, load, tow, spray, and haul, all in a single day. Because with the highest cargo box volume in its class, customizable features, and a towing capacity of up to 4,000 pounds, it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at your John Deere dealer or visit johndeere.com/Gator XUV.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late? You can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Traffic sponsored by Park & Go, your top choice for all covered airport parking. Northbound 35, a crash at Penway Street has traffic stacked up down to before 169. Northbound 635 before Kansas Avenue, you've got road work as the two left lanes blocked. You're backed up almost to Shawnee Drive. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic. Tackle your airport parking needs at Park & Go. Always the best service and always the best price. Open 24/7, fast and free shuttle services, and all spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and operated.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's feeling it.
I am Champion Dot.
You never know when it's going to happen, but it's always your chance to win. Here's another edition of C-Dot's Trivia Minigame on The Drive.
All right. We have one question to ask one person. There are 5 answers. Rob and I have set the over-under at 3.5. We have John on hold. I will ask John. John hung up. John figured out the rules to this thing and wanted nothing to do with it. We will give one more person a chance to play. 913-586-7965. John was on hold the entire commercial break. I started telling John the rules to this thing. John said, nah, boy, you ain't about to embarrass me on this show. If you want to play, it is one NFL question. It's that simple. You get it, we will give you a pizza. If you miss it, we will give the pizza to the text line, and then we will move on and talk about the Chiefs. It is really that simple. Rob, if you could turn the music down just a little bit to give yourself a little bit of time, I want to play this audio for you guys, and then I promise you we'll get back to what we were about to do here coming up in a bit. Let's talk a little bit of college football here to give yourself a little bit of time. Your Kansas Jayhawks have a very important game this weekend on the road against West Virginia. If Jalen Daniels plays poorly, I think there's a chance that they make a quarterback change. We had Michael Swain on the show a couple of days ago, and I asked him, does he think the issues with Jalen Daniels are more physical than mental? Here's what he said.
Mental, because you can still see throughout the times of games that he still has the talent, right? You see the mobility, right? The 2 runs he had against UNLV last week, right? Showcase. He's still got that speed and mobility. What I think made Jalen so great during 2022 and 23 was his ability to read defenses, make the right throws, and put the throws in an accurate position. What I see right now is a quarterback that's a second late right now on it. And if you look at his interceptions, 2 of them against Illinois, and then, honestly, 2 of them against UNLV. It's a quarterback that's not seeing things as quickly as he should, right? The one at the end of the first half to Quentin Skinner, he should see the safety in the middle of the field who can cover off that seam route to Quentin Skinner. You look at the interception in the second half, right? He should see that there's a linebacker within 5 yards of Trevor Cardell. And so I think so much of it right now is just it comes down to confidence in your ability to read a defense and being able to get through your progressions quickly. And he just isn't doing that consistently. And so now it's going to be a question of, can he build up his own confidence over the course of 1 or 2 weeks to where, hey, maybe we're talking at the beginning of October, it looks like the Jalen Daniels that fans have come to see in past seasons.
I'm not saying this as a Missouri fan. I'm saying this as somebody that has watched almost every snap of the last 2 KU games. If they lose to West Virginia, we got to start asking the question, are they making a bowl game? Because they go on the road against Arizona State. They have on the road against K-State. They haven't beaten K-State since George W. Bush was in office. They have on the road against BYU, on the road against Baylor. They have Iowa State. They play Colorado. I mean, you would think that they're going to make a bowl game, but if you start 1-3, this thing could fall off the tracks real fast if you are KU. I would advise them to win. West Virginia, I think Kansas is better than West Virginia. This is one of those games in Big 12 play that you need to figure out a way to go on the road and get a win. And he's right. It really comes down to one player. What version of Jalen Daniels do you get? You don't need him to be the player that he was last year. You just can't keep giving possessions away the way that he has at the position. All right, let's get back to our football question. Turn my music up, Rob. I have one question I am going to ask. Ian has now called in. Salute to Ian. There are 5 possible answers. You have to get at least. We agree. You have to get 4 of the 5, right? Rob, is that right? You have to get 4 of the 5. We're going to give you 30 seconds, Ian. We're going to give you 30 seconds. There are 5 teams in the NFL that are named after birds. Can you name 4 or more of those teams, Ian? On your mark, get set, go.
All right, we got the Ravens, we got the Seahawks, we got the Eagles. Oh, man. Ravens, Seahawks, Eagles. Oh, man, I'm losing it here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. How much time I got? I got like 10 seconds, 20 seconds?
Henny, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I got nothing.
Ian.
M-I-Z, Brady Cook for Heisman.
Ian, don't hang up the phone yet, Ian.
Good, I'm happy he's a Missouri fan.
Ian.
That makes me so happy.
Ian, you named
Come
the
on.
Eagles, Ravens, and the Seahawks. Who are the Chiefs playing on Sunday?
The Falcons is what I said. You guys just couldn't hear me, I think.
No, you didn't say that. Get out of here, Ian. You didn't say the Falcons. I ain't hear him say the Falcons. You heard him say the Falcons, Rob?
No, because he kept repeating.
I had both my ears on the. I didn't hear him say that. No.
He kept repeating, Ravens, Eagles, Seahawks. Ravens, Eagles, Seahawks.
Yeah, he trying to pull a fast one. You're not pulling a fast one on me. All right, you know what? Let's do this. I'll name the 4, and if you can name the last one, Rob will text you. If Rob don't text you, you didn't win. All right? That's the only rule now. If Rob doesn't, I don't want you to text me, oh, hey, C-Dot, did we win? No, if did Rob text you? Then you didn't win. Someone on the text line says, I heard him say it. Did you hear him say it? I didn't hear him say it.
I was sitting back here counting. He kept saying the 3 over and over again.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say. I didn't hear it. Text line 913-586-7965. Maybe I missed it, but I was listening. I didn't hear him say the other team. All
also,
right.
Brady Cook for Heisman is no.
He's got a shot. He's got a shot. He's still got a shot.
Even I'm not even being a Missouri hater. If Missouri has a Heisman contender, he's playing wide receiver. He's not playing quarterback.
Here you go, hating. Here you go.
Hold
you
on,
love to hate.
You think Brady Cook could win the Heisman before Luther Burden could win the Heisman?
Can we move forward? I don't want to spend today arguing with you about this nonsense. I don't want to spend it.
I'm praising one of the best receivers in college football. I don't know how that's viewed as hate.
No, you love to hate. All right, so Falcons, Eagles, Ravens, and Seahawks. There's one more team in the NFL that is named after a bird. If you can name it, text it in. Rob will tell you if you win the pizza. We now have a pizza that is up for grabs. All right. Now, I know that you guys get mad at me. I know you guys get mad at me when we have this topic. But you guys can admit that this conversation has only been an in-house conversation. I gave you guys the stat earlier in the week. You guys told me, shut up. This doesn't matter. Travis Kelce in his last 10 regular season games has 43 catches for 440 yards. He has 1 touchdown in his last 10 regular season games. Now, I don't know if you guys were paying attention to it, but the national media is starting to talk about it. Stephen A. Smith, who might be the #1 sports talker in the world, said that they showed Taylor Swift on TV more than they showed Travis Kelce on Sunday. People outside of our little Kansas City bubble are starting to talk about it. All I'm going to say about this topic, and we can move on, because, again, you guys don't like when we have this conversation about Travis Kelce. I'm not here to upset anybody on a Red Friday. The Chiefs are playing on Sunday Night Football. They are going to be playing in the second most watched game of the weekend behind Ravens and Cowboys. Now, I know you're big Chiefs fans. More people are watching Ravens and Cowboys than watching Chiefs and Falcons on Sunday Night Football. I hate to tell you that. So I am telling you this. If Travis Kelce plays how he played in the first 2 games, it will not just be The Drive conversation that is talking about Travis Kelce. It will be all of your favorite TV shows. It will be all of your favorite NFL podcasts. It will be one of the big storylines in heading into week 4 is what's wrong with Travis Kelce. Now, they're going to have different theories on what it is. Oh, it's the endorsements. Oh, it's Taylor Swift. It's going to be all of these other things. And some of the answers are going to make you mad. But I have done this long enough, and I keep up with this stuff. I'm telling you, what is going to happen. Even if the Chiefs win on Sunday, if Travis Kelce has 3 catches for 25 yards, I'm telling you that one of the week 4 conversations is going to be Travis Kelce has 60 yards through the first 3 weeks of the season. What's wrong with Mahomes? Or what's wrong with Travis Kelce? So again, this is just a Chiefs Kingdom conversation. It will be a first take conversation. It will be a first things first conversation. It will be one of these storylines heading into the next week of what's going on with Travis Kelce. If he does this on Sunday Night Football, what he has done the first 2 weeks of the season, especially because this offense could really use Travis Kelce. I know they got a lot of weapons. You're not relying on Xavier Worthy in his 3rd game on the road on Sunday Night Football. No, if the Chiefs win this game, they win it because of Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the defense. That's how they win on Sunday Night Football.
Let me ask you a question, and maybe it's just rehashing a previous conversation, so it goes. If Kelce goes 3 for 27 on Sunday, and the national talking heads, Carton, Parkins, Schlereth, Wright, Stephen A., pick a player, are talking about Travis Kelce on Monday, are they wrong? If Travis Kelce has 70 yards through 3 games and no touchdowns, and he was supposed to be the focal point of this offense, he was supposed to get back to being Trav. He had last year was a down year only because, of injuries and this and that, but he's back. If the national talking heads start talking about it on Monday because he's 3 for 27, are the national heads actually correct? Should we be raising alarm bells in Kansas City? Because so much of the Chiefs offense is predicated this season on Travis is going to be Travis again. So many of our conversations we had with guests, the text line, when we talked about the Chiefs offense in April, May, June, July, August, was all around the idea of they can take a step forward. And we would always say the following sentence: Travis Kelce will get back to being Travis Kelce. But if he's not back to being Travis Kelce after 3 games, is it fair to say what's happening, and is the old Travis Kelce coming back?
I mean, are you asking this from a Chiefs fan perspective or how outsiders are going to say it? Because I think we know enough about how Chiefs fans are going to do it. You are not getting Chiefs fans alarmed about Travis Kelce in September. I would say you're not getting Chiefs fans really alarmed about Travis Kelce in October. I don't think you are doing it. I think right now it is just something to watch. I don't think it's either one way. I don't think it's one way or the other. He had a big catch in week 2. It got called back. I don't think there's cause for concern yet. But this is a big spot. Think about who we thought their top 4 offensive players were going to be heading into the season. We thought it was going to be Isaiah Pacheco, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Travis Kelce, right? We all agree there. 2 of those players are not playing on Sunday. You are not winning this game with just Rashee Rice. You're going to need, I would say, 1 and a possible other offensive contributor in this game, or your defense just plays lights out. I think one positive thing about this game is your defense, I think over the course of the last year and a half, they have played to a level where the Chiefs defense could go win this game for the Chiefs. It would not surprise me if the Chiefs win this game 21-17. It's a little bit lower scoring than they think because the Chiefs get decent pressure. The Chiefs force Kirk Cousins to make a couple of mistakes, and they figure out a way to grind out a win. I think their defense has earned that over the course of the last year and a half. But again, if the Chiefs win this game, they win it because of the 3-headed monster on the offensive side, or they win it because their defense is just really, really good in this game. Their defense holds Bijan Robinson to under 100 total yards, and they force Kirk Cousins to make a couple of mistakes, which we've all seen Kirk Cousins play. He is capable of making a couple of mistakes. I actually was thinking this week about Kirk Cousins, and we haven't got a chance to talk about it yet. Some of you hate the contract for Kirk Cousins and feel like quarterbacks like him are overpaid. And I have heard enough people say this. My dear friend, my brother, Danny Parkins, says the same thing. If you get it wrong at quarterback, you keep trying and trying in the draft until you get it right. Does anybody want a rookie quarterback right now in the league? Because basically outside of C.J. Stroud, over the last 4 years, that has been a losing proposition that is more than likely going to get you fired. So if you want to know why NFL teams keep paying guys like Tua, keep paying guys like Kirk Cousins, why Baker Mayfield got a good contract this offseason, it's because we used to kind of throw everybody into that Alex Smith pot. If you weren't Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, we just called you Alex Smith. How many quarterbacks today in the NFL do you think are Alex Smith? Or you would put in that Alex Smith category? Because Dak Prescott is better than what Alex Smith used to be. How many quarterbacks would you say, oh, he's just fine? I don't know if we've seen in the last 15 or 20 years such a clear gap in extremes between good quarterbacks and bad quarterbacks. We used to talk about bottom 5 quarterbacks in the league. And the bottom 5 quarterbacks in the league is really expanded now to the bottom 10. There are 10 unusable quarterbacks right now in the NFL. So almost a third of the league. Almost a third of the league has unusable quarterback. Will Levis is not good. Daniel Jones is not good. There's 10 to maybe 12 of them. How many guys right now in the league do you think are middle? There's not that much middle. So if you're a team and you've got a decent quarterback or a guy like Kirk Cousins hits the market, your options right now are, would I rather have Kirk Cousins at quarterback or Bo Nix at quarterback? And I think that what I will used to say is, oh, well, you go get Bo Nix. He's cheaper. He's on a rookie contract. If you got Bo Nix as your starting quarterback, you ain't winning nothing this year. Like nothing. Not a thing. If you got Caleb Williams right now, you're not winning anything. And this was a quarterback class that people were really high on. 5 quarterbacks went in the top 12 this year? This was supposed to be one of the better quarterback crops. Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy winner. Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner. Bo Nix played 5 years of major college football. None of them have a touchdown pass yet in the league. So if you got to spend a certain amount in the cap, I don't know if going out and getting Kirk Cousins is the worst thing that you can do right now.
Isn't what you're saying a massive indictment on quarterback play in the NFL? Because, what you just said, I agree with. There's no middle tier right now in football. There are good quarterbacks, and then there are quarterbacks we can't describe. We can describe words we can't use on the radio. Because that bottom part of the league is real bad.
It's bad.
Bo Nix is terrible. I mean, we can go through the list, name after name after name, of just whoever's starting in Carolina, whether it be Bryce Young or Andy Dalton. Neither one of them are any good. I watched Jacoby Brissett last night. Jacoby Brissett is not good. Sorry to the local kids, Skylar Thompson. He's not good. There's a lot of bad quarterback. Daniel Jones is horrible. There's a lot of bad at the bottom of the league. And you're right. There isn't a middle tier. There isn't the Alex Smith era right now. But isn't that an indictment on the league that there isn't?
100%.
Quarterback is feast
100%.
or famine. And I feel like hopefully it's a conversation that stops because the league improves its quality of play. But I feel like we keep having this conversation about the league not putting out a good product.
Quarterback play is not getting better. It is getting worse. There's going to be more younger quarterbacks coming into the league. Based on what we've seen this year, we think Carson Beck is coming into the league and having success next year? You think Quinn Ewers is coming into the league and having success next season? There's also, there's going to be another quarterback that just pops up that we aren't talking about right now. I'm saying, those guys are going to be the top 3. There's always going to be the guy that gets picked 19th overall. You and I didn't think J.J. McCarthy was going to be a first-round draft pick a year ago at this time. He ended up going top 12 last year. So that position continues to get younger. I'm not saying that you got to love the Kirk Cousins deal, but haven't we seen in the first 2 weeks, hey, that's why teams are paying Kirk Cousins $40 million, because you are faced with 2 choices. You can have Bo Nix as your starting quarterback or Kirk Cousins. Bo Nix doesn't give you a chance to make the playoffs this year. Kirk Cousins does. You might not win the Super Bowl with him. I think you got a shot because you're in the NFC and there's not that great quarterback. You don't have to go through Mahomes or Allen. You got to go through Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff in the NFC. So maybe having Kirk Cousins is enough that you can make a run in the NFC. But haven't we seen in the first 2 weeks, if there is any reason why Miami paid Tua the amount of money they paid him, why the Cowboys, we cannot let Dak even think about joining another team. We have no chance of re-signing him if that's the case. You guys wouldn't want to know what kind of money Dak Prescott was about to get if he had hit free. He would have got $70 million a year. He would have made the Deshaun Watson contract look like a backup quarterback deal is what it would have looked like if he had hit free agency. I just think we are getting the answer to some of our questions of why teams are so thirsty at the position and why they overspend so much at quarterback. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined in studio by Nate Taylor. He is the beat writer for the Chiefs of the Athletic. There's a lot of stuff to talk about with Kansas City. Let's get back to the top story. The Chiefs right now don't have a left tackle. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
It's peaceful out here.
Yeah.
Oh, an owl.
Mm-hmm. And a bullfrog.
Is that a coyote?
I think that's a winner of the $100,000 cash adventure ticket from the Kansas Lottery.
Oh, yeah. I hear it now.
You could also win a $100,000 Bass Pro shopping spree. CKSLottery.com for details.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up this Sunday, Week 3 in pro football, Tennessee, a 2.5-point home favorite against Green Bay. Total in the game is 38. Now, it's possible that Green Bay's starting quarterback could return early from his knee injury. It feels unlikely. The betting market tells you that's unlikely, with Tennessee almost as a 3-point favorite. And if that quarterback is not back in this game for Green Bay, hard to not like Tennessee laying anything under a field goal. Green Bay won't be able to run it as successfully against this Tennessee defense, so I like Tennessee coming up on Sunday. I will lay the 2.5 with Tennessee against Green Bay. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Here are 4 reasons to buy the Royals Sunday 4-pack. 1. The Sunday 4-pack means your crew scores big. You get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and a parking pass. 2. It makes your Sunday a fun day every Sunday of the season. 3. You can choose your view. Watch the game from View Reserved, Outfield Plaza, or Field Plaza. 4. Prices start at $60. Presented by Price Chopper. Learn more at royals.com/fan value.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real-person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It takes a lot to prepare for game day as a dedicated fan, and preparing the perfect tailgate meal might be most important of all. That's why Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise is the MVP. Hellmann's Mayonnaise is the secret to bring out the rich and creamy taste to all your game day dishes, from buffalo chicken dip to your favorite sub sandwich and everything in between. So give it a try, and mayo game day be delicious with Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. Shop at your local Walmart, Kroger, or grocery store, and add some extra deliciousness to your game day dishes this football season.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? Well, Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has helped over 35,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares, and they may be able to help you too. If you were misled into signing a timeshare agreement that is a lifetime commitment, if you were told timeshare is a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, you need to get the facts about timeshare cancellation. For over 10 years, Wesley Financial Group has been dedicated to helping folks get out of a lifetime of debt by canceling their timeshares. So they created a timeshare exit information kit, which reveals how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation. Simply call Wesley right now and they will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. See how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Again, 800-761-0000.
This report is brought to you by Flying H Drag Strip. Drag racing is back in Kansas City. FlyingHDragStrip.com.
Kansas City, drag racing is back. Don't miss the fall SmackDown, September 19th through 21st at Flying H Drag Strip. For tickets and info, visit FlyingHDragStrip.com. The real horsepower hangout.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Eastbound 470 to Blue Ridge Boulevard, a two-car crash has things pretty well shut down. Be prepared to stop. Eastbound 670, you'll hit your brakes as you cross the Kansas River and stay slow past I-35. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Chiefs fans, it's Justin Reed. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home of Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Nate Taylor of The Athletic. Really excited to catch up with him. There is a lot of news to discuss with the Kansas City Chiefs. There were two issues that I was keeping an eye on heading into today's press conferences. Number one, what's the status of Kareem Hunt? Is he going to play? Does not sound like he is going to play, according to Andy Reid. Also, what's going to happen with the left tackle position? Here's what Andy Reid had to say.
We'll keep Kareem down this game. The two tackles will both have an opportunity to get in there this game, the left tackles.
The Chiefs are finally having the position battle that we all expected them to have at left tackle. They are just having it in week 3 of the NFL season. Kingsley Suamataia has been the left tackle since drafted in April. They have not really had a real competition. They have not really had a back and forth. I think many of us thought that was going to be the case in St. Joe. It was not the case. There really weren't a whole lot of position battles on this team. We thought that corner could be one. We thought that wide receiver could be one. They answered those questions pretty quickly. Well, those other positions have resolved themselves. We know who their number 2 corner is. It's Jalen Watson. Today, who's their left tackle? Because I think the answer is Kingsley Suamataia. But if after one game you are now having the conversation about rotating at that position, you don't have the answer yet. Now, the Chiefs don't need to have the answer in September. You need to have this answer in the second half of the season. And if there is a game that you could maybe throw away a little bit, it's the game against the NFC opponent. You wouldn't do this next week, I hope not, against a team that's in your division that right now that has started 2-0. That could be really important down the line. You might need that road game against the Los Angeles Chargers. But going into this game, I have been kind of waiting for the Chiefs to put some water on this fire. They didn't. The whole week, Andy was asked about it Wednesday. He didn't really give an answer. Matt Nagy was asked about it yesterday. He gave an even bigger non-answer. And then today, they didn't say it. They don't have the answer right now. If you're going to play both left tackles, this isn't running back. This isn't wide receiver. This isn't a college football non-con game in which you're going to let Arch Manning play for a little bit. We're talking about this is Sunday Night Football. I mean, it's a team that just had a pretty thrilling win, and you don't know who your left tackle is. So the position battle, the competition that I think we were expecting to see in the offseason, they're finally having it now. They do not have the answer yet on who their left tackle is going to be, and hopefully they figure it out over the course of the next couple of weeks. We will ask Nate Taylor about that more coming up in a bit. He will be on the show coming up in 10 minutes. I have a question to ask you guys, 913-586-7965. Now, I think I know the answer based on the text line's reaction whenever we've talked about the Royals this week. But you know what? I'm not going to let that scare me off because the text line could say that I'm being ridiculous with this question. Old school Carrington hypothetical button style. Rob, you don't even got to hit the music for this. There's two buttons. One button, if you press it, it guarantees that the Royals sweep this series. But if you press the button, the Chiefs lose their next two road games and come back to Kansas City 2-2 on Monday night against the New Orleans Saints. You pressing the button, Rob? Or do you think Kansas City presses the button? If right now, in front of Kauffman Stadium, maybe we put it down at the Plaza Art Fair this weekend. What's like the 93rd Plaza Art Fair?
Sounds right.
I put a button right there. If you press the button, the Royals win all three games this weekend, but the Chiefs fall to 2-2. What do you think Kansas City does? Do you think Kansas City's pressing that button? Because if you press the button, the Royals are making the postseason. Mm-hmm. Even the most pessimistic Royals fan, you have to acknowledge, if the Royals win all three games this weekend against the Giants, you ain't catching them. You ain't catching them with 6 games to go, certainly not with their games against the Washington Nationals. They can end this conversation this weekend with the sweep. Do you think Kansas City is pressing that button, or do you think they're willing to roll the dice and let the Royals figure it out? The reason I think Kansas City would press the button is just last season we saw that the Chiefs don't need home field advantage. In that scenario of them being 2-2, you still win the division, in my opinion. You still go to the postseason, and all this team needs to do is get into the dance. If you get into the dance, we saw last season, anything is possible. They went on the road to Buffalo. They went on the road to Baltimore. They still won the Super Bowl. So the Chiefs can lose these next 2 games, and still everything can be fine. Would you sacrifice the Chiefs to help the Royals? That's my question, Rob Britton.
Here's the thing. First off, I would smash the button. I think it's a very easy and obvious thing. I think the city is tougher. But, I don't think your terminology is correct there. You're not sacrificing the Chiefs. How many times have we, over the Chiefs dynasty, learned...
Text line's very split right now.
The regular season doesn't matter for the Chiefs. You know what I learned last year watching the Chiefs in the regular season? It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. If they get hot at the right time, or they put together the right time, or 15 just starts throwing to the right team at the right time, they are so superior at quarterback, it does not matter. The Chiefs were a mediocre regular season team last year. They won the Super Bowl. They were mediocre. The year they lost the Bengals in the AFC title game, they played it at home. They were 3-4 at one point. And the Chiefs, as we opened the show with, are deciding, let's tinker and mess around with left tackle in week 3 of the NFL season. They know it, I know it, fans know it. The regular season doesn't matter for the Chiefs. So I don't think it's sacrificing the Chiefs. I would easily smash this button, and I'm surprised that anyone would do this because 2-2 is not a death sentence. It's just a setback.
I mean, I'm reading it right now, and the text line, you can see, is very, very split on if they would press the button. So the question, if you're just tuning in, I put a button in front of you. If you press the button, the Royals sweep the Giants this weekend. But the penalty is the Chiefs fall to 2-2. They lose their next 2 games on the road. They come back on Monday Night Football, and they are at 500.
Probably second in the division at that point, too.
Yeah, probably.
They would have lost the Chargers.
The Chargers, yeah. This is the only reason I'm surprised about this is you can't tell me don't overreact. It's the regular season about Travis Kelce, and now regular season games are so important. You got to win these next 2 games. It can't be both. If there's a team that I think could sacrifice these next 2 and still be fine, it's the Chiefs, especially because you got those first 2 out the way. You beat Baltimore and you beat the Bengals. Losing to the Falcons just doesn't really matter. I know every game in the NFL counts and every game's so important. If they lose to an NFC team in week 3, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the least bit. This team's still going to win 12 games. They're still going to be fine. You know the games you really need to win? The first 2, they got a game against Houston later on the season and a game against Buffalo. Those are the ones I encourage you to win. This Sunday, it's okay. So I'm throwing that question out there if you would press the button. I'm going to ask Nate Taylor that question. What does he think Kansas City does in that scenario? I think you have to press the button. The Chiefs don't need the help. The Royals need the help. The Royals need the help to make the postseason. The Chiefs, they'll figure it out. They were 500 the last 2 months of the season last year. They still won the Super Bowl. Also, you know how many NFL fans tell me the season doesn't start until after Thanksgiving? Then the NFL season hasn't started. If you're a believer in that sentence, the NFL season has not begun. Baseball season has entered its crunch time. Crunch time games matter more than week 3. They just do. They do. All right, text line, let me know. It's very, very split. It's a little more split than I thought it was going to be. We're gonna ask Nate Taylor this question coming up on the other side. Get his thoughts, get his opinion. I had no clue that regular season games were this important to you guys on the text line. This has been a startling revelation, but you know what? I learn things all the time on this show. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Eastbound 470 to Blue Ridge Boulevard, a 2-car crash has things pretty well shut down. Be prepared to stop. Eastbound 670, you'll hit your brakes as you cross the Kansas River and stay slow past I-35. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Chiefs coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by award-winning Johnny's Barbecue in Olathe.
Football and barbecue fans, score big with Johnny's Barbecue tailgate packages. Whether you're hosting a home gate or a tailgate, Johnny's Barbecue has you covered. Check out our tailgate packages at johnny'sbbqkc.com. Located in Olathe and serving all of KC. Johnny's Barbecue. Taste the smoke.
Show your Riz. Here's a career opportunity for you. Keller Fire and Safety is hiring fire protection professionals because they are on fire and they need your help, both inside the office and out in the field. Keller needs your experience, but if you don't have it, they'll get you there. Keller has been saving people and property since 1950. Get your career on fire. Look them up online and apply. Keller Fire and Safety. KellerFire.com.
This is one of the better sports weekends that I can remember in Kansas City. And if you're looking for a great place to grab a drink, get something to eat, and watch the game, then go stop by the other place. With 5 area locations, you can stop by and get some of their incredible game day specials. I'm talking about 14-inch 2-topping pizzas for $12, 8 wings in a basket of tots for $12, $4 domestic cups. It's the next best thing to actually being at the stadium, and it's an incredible game day atmosphere. So if you're looking for a place to watch the games this weekend, go stop by the other place.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details. Febreze.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Chiefs coverage is brought to you by Dury Vision. Schedule your free consultation today. DuryVision.com.
Imagine seeing better than you ever have, maybe without contacts or glasses. That's what I do now, thanks to Dury Vision. And right now is a great time to call them up with their Friends and Family Savings event where you can save up to $1,000 on LASIK. DuryVision.com or 913-491-3330.
Join 96.5 The Fan and Bud Light for the Fans Football Show with Mitchell Schwartz and Jay Binkley every Thursday in September starting at 6 at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Enjoy $5 talls, prizes, and Chiefs gear. For a list of locations, go to 965thefan.com. Listen to the Chiefs and Falcons game with Mitch, Danon, and Kling coming up on Sunday with pregame coverage starting at 4. Kickoff just after 7, right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, welcome into the drive on 96.5 The Fan. Nate Taylor is here. Nate, I'm going to ask you the question. Did you hear the question? Were you listening earlier?
Oh, of course I was. I heard the question.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm definitely smashing these 2 losses. I mean, come on. Are we not civic? Do we not have civic pride? For a lot of the reasons you mentioned.
Chiefs fans telling me weeks 3 and week 4 must win for the Chiefs. We got to get these next 2 wins.
So, like you were saying in the previous segment, the game against the Falcons really doesn't matter because it doesn't equate to anything with the playoff seeding in the AFC. You still get the Chargers at home, so you don't have to win that game. I took my family to the ballpark on Wednesday. See that they need help.
they
need help.
They need some. That's why I had to come up with this button.
They need help. I'm smashing it, dog. Can I do it now?
Yeah,
yes,
they
please,
need the help.
Lord. There's nothing more really gratifying as a sports fan than having like an actual good baseball team. I don't want this season to be tarnished by the fact that they collapsed in the last 2 to 3 weeks of the regular season when Bobby Witt is probably having the greatest single season in Royals history when you consider the fact that he's played in every game and the 30-30. I mean, this has been a renaissance year for Salvador Perez. I feel like the franchise kind of needs to be rewarded based on all the offseason moves they made to bolster the pitching staff. It's unfortunate that Vinny got hurt. It's unfortunate that, the bullpen has not been as solid as we thought it was going to be, especially after the trade deadline. I mean, they've done everything they possibly can to just make the wild card. That's all I ask. Like, if they make the postseason, it's like it's such a gratifying season because it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't really expect it. I mean, who knew Seth Lugo was going to be this good? I watched Alec Marsh give up just run after run in the first 2 innings, and I was just like,
Wednesday really broke you down.
It really did. I was in the ballpark. My son was like, "Are we gonna make the playoffs?" And it was the first time I was like,
"I don't know, son.
I don't know, son." I mean, he was sad.
I could just the thing is, I've been around your son enough to know I could just tell you exactly how he had his glove with him. He was excited to go to the game, and he left there. He was so heartbroken.
Yes, we had great seats. There was a little bit of momentum, I guess, in like the 7th, 8th inning, and then we hit right into double plays, and it's like, well, son, that's baseball. It just works. It just works out that way.
You had to give him the life speech.
That's just baseball.
You had to give him the life speech.
He had some words for Hunter Renfroe.
I'm sure. He probably said, "I can hit better than this guy."
Yeah, a 9-year-old is complaining about the lineup. I was like, "Oh, my son, he's here. He's got it."
You should have known when you paid to go see Robbie Grossman hit cleanup for the Royals. You should have known that you were going to be in for a long day. All right, let me ask. There are 2 major questions I want to get your opinion on, and we'll dive deep into this game over the course of the next hour. Now, in college football, we say this all the time. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks.
Correct.
Do we say that at other positions? Because right now, they have 2 left tackles. Does that mean that they have no left tackle?
I think they have a left tackle. It's just going to take longer than most fans here understand.
Do they know who that left tackle is?
Yeah, it's Kingsley. I mean, the long-term plan is for Kingsley Suamataia to be good.
What's the short-term plan? The only reason I ask you that is, we can read between the lines. And we talked about this on this show. On Wednesday, Andy could have ended this conversation.
Yeah.
Kingsley is our left tackle. It was a rough game, but we're behind him. He didn't do it. Matt Nagy, to me, he gave you even more uncertainty. He was asked point blank, who's going to be your left tackle? Well, some things he still needs to work on. I was like, that's a no. And then today he said, we're going to rotate both of them in. Like, they've had every chance to really solidify that they believe in Kingsley. They took him out in the game, and this is different than what happened with Jawan Taylor. With Jawan Taylor, because of how much money he was making, there was no other option.
Correct.
From a financial standpoint, there's no different in Kingsley and Wanye Moore. So it really is the let the best man play.
Right.
Has Kingsley proven that he is the best man? They have told us he's the best man, and they basically told us that all summer. Then we got to see him play in real games, and I'm not sure if he is.
But the issue then becomes, how much experience can you get a young guy so that he is ready for games that truly matter, as Rob has said, after Thanksgiving, right? They need to figure out this sooner rather than later at left tackle. But as I said before on this show, Carrington, you know this, they didn't even have a competition in training camp. I thought it was a bit odd for Andy Reid and Brett Veach in the offseason to be like, well, now that we've, drafted Kingsley, it's going to be the best man. We're going to let the best man win. True competition. That's why we wanted to, go this route, so that we had obviously multiple options, both of them younger than, of course, Donovan Smith, who's still a free agent. Well, they literally gave every first team rep to Kingsley Suamataia to prepare him. My belief was they gave him every rep possible to prepare him for the opener. Now, he did pretty well against the Baltimore Ravens. He somehow went from being like competent to okay to like terrible in a matter of like a couple hours. It's the weirdest. It's one of the weirdest
he
performances.
He went against one of the better pass rushers. Like Trey Hendrickson's really good. He just doesn't get the hype that some of the other guys is. But Trey Hendrickson, I mean, he's been that best player on that Bengals defense ever since he came over from the Saints. And it was very obvious that their plan was, let's line him up against the rookie, and we are going to make this guy's day a living hell. And it worked.
Oh, it really did. Now, I don't think Matthew Judon is the same as Trey Hendrickson. So you can win Sunday's game with either guy, whether it's Kingsley Suamataia or Wanye Morris. Similar to what happened last year with Jawan Taylor, Andy took him off the field in Jacksonville, and then it took longer than probably Chiefs fans wanted, but he slowly got back to like his average form of play, his average level of performance. Can you get that from Kingsley if he's sitting on the bench in weeks 3, 4, 5. Like, you've made the investment already. You've traded up in the second round for him. It's helpful that you have Wanya Morris because he's in year 2, so he can play both right and left tackle depending on the situation. But it's one thing for the coaching staff to say, well, he just needs experience. For everybody in the locker room of veteran status, including Travis Kelce, when I asked him after the game on Sunday, no, man. Sometimes you got to learn what it takes to get beat so that it clearly shows you, okay, this is what I need to get better at. This is how I get, the most consistency I can, even though obviously all these experiences are new for me. You can't say that and then a week later be like, hey, man, just chill. So I know Andy Reid's partly saying today about the rotating of left tackles because, I guess the Atlanta Falcons have to study for both. Not that it really matters.
If you watching film on Kings and CO2 and Monty, you've lost the game. You got other problems.
So,
you got other things to worry about.
I have Kelce, Rasheed Rice, Patrick Mahomes.
We got this dude that ran a 4.2 40. I don't be watching film on him.
Yeah, so, I don't know what advantage it gives the Chiefs to be like, we don't know, 2 hours before kickoff. But like a lot of guys I talked to this week, Andy's track record is letting the guy play through it. You have to be so bad, not only to get benched, but ultimately to get replaced at your position in September. It honestly just doesn't happen, even with someone who's a rookie.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Nate Taylor. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. There's a lot of stuff I want to get your opinion on coming up on the other side. We're going to talk about Travis Kelce, who took a lot of accountability on the New Heights podcast.
Yes, he did.
We want to get your thoughts on his first 2 games of the year, the last 10 regular season games. I'll give you my stat on him. Are you worried at all about Travis Kelce? I don't know if you know this or not, but Patrick Mahomes has more receiving yards than Juju Smith-Schuster, McCole Hardman, and Sky Moore all combined. Is that going to continue this week? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to talk to you about. We got Nate Taylor in studio. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Finding an attorney can be an overwhelming process. Fortunately, since 1996, Mark Ferguson has helped thousands of Kansas Cityans during their time of need. Whether you're facing a traffic violation or a more serious crime, Mark and his team of seasoned, compassionate professionals are here to fight for you in all of your legal matters. Mark has built his career on integrity, knowledge, and an incredible reputation. Call Mark Ferguson at 816-203-2263. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Your coworkers might annoy you, but we promise we won't. Download the free Odyssey app and you can listen to us at work while you tackle your inbox or get ready for another meeting that probably could have been an email. Tune in late? You can rewind your favorite live shows to catch what you missed. And with Chapters, easily jump to the topics that you care about most, like the latest updates from your team. Your sports talk, your way. The Odyssey app. Download it today.
It's Bob Fesco, and I'm here with my friend Brian Manning of Manning Roofing. We know you guys are the best in the business when it comes to the roofing industry, but what truly separates you from everybody else?
We have a great group of people that take care of our homeowners. Our number one goal is homeowner satisfaction, and we won't compromise the quality of our materials or the quality of our labor to do that.
If you want to set up an appointment with Manning Roofing like I did, check them out at manninggc.com or 816-448-8208. Manning is my one-stop shop for roofs, gutters, siding, and windows. The choice is simple. It's Manning Roofing.
You've been waiting, and now is the time. Golden Oak Lending has fixed mortgage rates at 4.875%. But don't wait, this rate won't last forever. Call today and take advantage of our low 4.875 fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.784 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
I can't wait to watch the Chiefs go up and down the field and score a ton of points this year. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn fuel saver discounts equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 42 points, I save 42 cents a gallon when I spend $42. The more we score, the more I save, only at Hy-Vee.
Offer good in-store or online. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Calling all Kansas City football fans to downtown Las Vegas. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for the ultimate game day getaway. Huddle up at Overhang Bar with 96.5 The Fan for our pregame tailgates on Fridays with drink specials and giveaways, including a pair of game day tickets. Then catch all the action at the world's largest sportsbook or lounge in the center of it all at America's favorite place to watch football, Stadium Swim, featuring 6 pools and a massive 143-foot screen. To book your Huddle Up experience, visit circalasvegas.com today.
Men, low testosterone causes a host of problems. These include a low sex drive, bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. But many men just attribute these symptoms to aging and don't consider that there are medical treatments that can give them back their vigor and vibrancy. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling like I just described, it's time for you to treat that low T and change your life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. We've successfully treated many men for low T and seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in a man's life. If you're like the vast majority of men who are low T, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return, that brain fog will go away, your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So make an appointment and make a true life change. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and now North Kansas City.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's also what a lot of us lack in our basement or garage. By switching to a Navien tankless water heater, not only will you have all the hot water you need whenever you need it, but you'll gain storage area as well. Maybe a place to display your space collectibles.
Highly logical.
Learn about Navien's series of high-efficiency tankless water heaters and how they don't just save space, but save dollars on your utility bills too. For more, go to tanklessmadesimple.com.
Tonight, partly cloudy, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, low 72.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Eastbound 470 to Blue Ridge Boulevard, a 2-car crash has things pretty well shut down. Be prepared to stop. Eastbound 670, you'll hit your brakes as you cross the Kansas River and stay slow past I-35. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Chiefs fans, it's Hollywood Brown. Welcome to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
We got Nate Taylor in studio. His appearance on The Drive is presented by Mark Ferguson. We all make mistakes. Let Mark and his legal team make the best of them. Call 816-221-1750. Hit up our guy, Mark Ferguson. All right, is a lot of things to talk to you about in relation to this game. First off, let me get two kind of nonsense questions out of the way before we get to the very serious football thing. I asked Rob this question. Now, you have been to all of these places before. What city would you consider to be white Atlanta?
White Atlanta?
What city is white Atlanta? Rob thinks that it's either Nashville or Austin.
Nashville in a heartbeat. It's so dang white down in, what is it called? Boardwalk, whatever place that is.
It's Broadway, right?
Broadway, excuse me. Boardwalk, Broadway, it's all the same.
Rob got offended. You said it the wrong way. He was like, what? How dare you?
Hey, I've been to the Grand Ole Opry. They love it down there. I mean, come on.
I called Beale Street the wrong thing on this show once, and Carrington crushed me.
I was like, come on now. He's about to fight. He's about to fight.
So look, I've been to, they got the Country Music Museum down there. I mean, I guess I'll see all these photos of Dolly Parton because that's y'all's icon. But no, it's pretty white in Nashville.
Okay, who has better chicken wings, Buffalo or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
I don't know if Rob will believe you there.
Well, it depends on I'm someone who loves lemon pepper wings. So when I put that up against the traditional buffalo wings in Buffalo, which are good, I'm not saying they aren't good.
Buffalo sauce isn't even a top 5 flavor. We've evolved past regular buffalo sauce.
True. Yeah. I mean, it's not like, I don't even, if you go to Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings, it's not like, I can't wait to get this buffalo sauce. So yeah, I understand that. I mean, this isn't blasphemy, but I think the Peanuts wing sauce is better than probably most of the things that are available in Buffalo. I'm sorry, Rob.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know this. I've never been to Buffalo before, so you're telling me something about what goes down in Buffalo.
It's good, but
have you ever seen anybody get pile driven through a table before when you were in Buffalo? Or lit on fire? Those are two important questions.
It was too cold to be lit on fire in January.
That's the right time to be lit on fire. It's cold outside.
But I didn't see anybody with my own eyes get smashed through tables. But man, they were liquored up for that divisional round, man.
Just to go home sad and heartbroken. That's terrible.
Man, it's also one of those O stadiums where the reporters have to actually go outside to get to the locker room because the locker room's not under the stadium the way it normally is. So yeah, man, when he missed that field goal and everybody started rushing down to the locker room, just don't even look anybody in the eye. They are distraught.
It was heartbroken. All right, let me get let's start with Travis Kelce and then we'll move on.
Sure.
So I had a stat earlier in the week, and people were very, very angry at me for the stat. So the stat is Travis Kelce in his last 10 regular season games has 43 catches for 440 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, that does take out the postseason in which he was able to turn back the clock. One reason, I don't think people want to say it, but one reason they are worried about the offense in this game is for the first time, you don't know what version of Travis Kelce you're going to get. If we all thought that they were going to get good Travis Kelce, this game isn't one you need to worry about. You got Rashee Rice, you got Travis Kelce that takes the pressure off Carson Steele. You got enough offense. But if you get 4 catches for 40-yard Travis Kelce, you're going to need somebody else to kind of step up, I think, on the road in this scenario.
Yeah.
Do you think that this show, because I think we have been at the forefront of this, do you think we are overreacting about Travis Kelce? What is your take of his first 2 weeks?
I don't think it's an overreaction, but it is definitely something that I would put in the need to monitor over the next month, right? Now, that includes the bye week, so, there's 3 games left. But I don't want to overreact because I thought their game plan was very specific for the Baltimore Ravens, which is get Rashee Rice the ball in space, and then let's show our new toy in Xavier Worthy. And, because of Pacheco and the fact that, teams are going to play too high, you are going to hand the ball off to him more than we've seen in the past. I think last week's game is a little bit more concerning just because it took sort of a breakdown scramble drill. There's not really been much in structure for the connection of Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Now, when Mahomes breaks the pocket, Travis Kelce is still the greatest tight end in the world to sort of ad-lib with the quarterback. Now that you've had more than a week to get through the unfortunate news of Hollywood Brown. Now that you're not going to have Isaiah Pacheco, this is where it gets very game plan specific, and I do think you start to lean more on Travis Kelce. I still think he hasn't ran a lot of like sophisticated routes. Like I'm looking at his route chart. It's, and this is via Next Gen Stats. Like it's okay, but it's not great. Like he's not doing double moves, up and unders, like or out and ups, I should say. There's not that many corner routes. He has ran a couple posts, a couple over routes in the middle of the field, but like, there's more that they can do with him. So if he struggles against the Falcons, then I will have mild concerns. And if that continues against the Los Angeles Chargers, then I think it is time to sort of reevaluate the offense and based on how prolific it can be if Kelce's not someone who's going to guarantee you giving you 75 yards and a touchdown.
I made this point earlier in the week, and I'm just curious to get your thoughts on, I guess, two Vegas lines. Because you and I think most people subscribe to the Vegas knows.
Yeah.
They have Kelce's over-under at 4.5. They have his yards right now at 47.5. If there has ever been a time where people are doubting Travis Kelce and there's a way for you to exploit the market, because you remember when we first found out he was dating Taylor Swift,
yes,
the numbers were just through the roof. Travis Kelce was the favorite to score a touchdown in every game, the yards, because people were betting on Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Now I think you've seen the pendulum swing in the opposite direction where this is the ideal bounce back game for Mahomes when how he played in week 2. And also Travis Kelce.
Right.
This was probably the worst that the Chiefs have played in a win since that late season game against Atlanta a couple years ago. Remember that game against Atlanta late in the year? The Chiefs played like they wanted to be anywhere else but there. They knew the Falcons weren't good. We could turn in whatever and we could still win.
Right.
Sunday, they probably should have lost that game. Now, you get credit for figuring out a way to win. This feels like the ideal bounce back spot for your quarterback and your number one pass catching option.
Yes, and he needs to be involved in third downs. He needs to be involved in the red zone, and even with some play action. I think one way to help your offensive tackle situation is to run screens for Travis Kelce, to do rollouts, to do play action, to where the pass rusher and the defense have to identify run and then obviously adjust to the pass. It would be helpful if they got a lead and they actually did what they were supposed to do, which is build on the lead. I think that's been one of the bigger criticisms of the unit as a whole. Like when the defense is giving them a chance to double up against the Ravens on opening night, Patrick throws an interception right before halftime. Basically gives 3 free points to the Ravens. They had a chance against the Cincinnati Bengals to sort of build on their first drive. Okay, the defense gets a 3 and out. Okay, we forced another field goal. Like, we're doing our part, and the offense has 3 turnovers. So if they can just string better drives together, then that should allow them to have, a little bit more success. But this should not be hard. Like, you should just, whether it's splitting him out wide, whether that's him in more traditional formation, there's ways to get Travis Kelce the ball. And he has, I've said this before, like he has been open, but he's not been like so wide open that like we could all look at the screen and go, what is Patrick doing? Instead, Patrick kind of tried to force him one, and that again allowed the Cincinnati Bengals back into the game instead of the Chiefs sort of building on a lead.
This show is very split on Carson Steele. Do you think that it's going to be he's the running back 1, or do you think we have entered running back by committee phase? Because Rob thinks that Samaje Perine is going to be very involved in the rushing game, not the receiving game. I think we all think they're going to throw it to him out of the backfield.
Right.
Rob thinks he's getting carries. I don't think he gets carries. So the over-under number for Carson Steele right now in rush yards is 42.5. And to me, this is a question really about volume.
Right.
If you think Carson Steele gets 13 carries, an NFL running back gets 40 yards on 13 carries.
Sure, yeah.
So do you think the Chiefs are going to treat him like he's their number 1 running back, or do you think it's more of a Carson gets 9 carries, Samaje Perine gets 5 carries, Keontae Ingram gets a couple, Patrick Mahomes runs it 3 or 4 times, and you end up getting a 20, but you get it in the aggregate?
So this is where it gets really tricky because Carson Steele is such a new commodity, right? We don't really know what to expect week to week because he is a rookie. Obviously, he had the fumble against the Bengals. On first thought, I think he will get the majority of the carries. As I wrote in The Athletic, Carson Steele is expected to be the starter. Samaje Perine will continue to be the third down back. If you need Keontae Ingram to fill in, he will be there to fill in. Here's where it gets tricky, though, because how many carries does Andy Reid and Matt Nagy give Carson Steele to make sure that, like, he's not awful? Like, is it 6? Is it 7? You give him a couple drives and you're like, well, his yards per attempt are like 2. It's not really great. But for Rob to say, well, what about Samaje Perine? I mean, he hasn't carried the ball yet this season. So they'll give him a handful, but I think the majority will probably go to Carson Steele if he plays, to an expectation, which is like, hey, get average 3 to 4 yards a carry. Don't go backwards. Don't fumble. I just think they're going to try to piecemeal this as best they can. But Samaje Perine, he needs to be on the field just to protect Patrick at all costs. I mean, he's the last line of defense, especially as of now. We don't know who the left tackle is, even though I believe it will probably be Kingsley Suamataia. So Isaiah Pacheco got 19 carries against the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's give Carson Steele. Well, it also depends on the game script too. Like, again, as I said before, can the Chiefs build on a lead? Can you get up 10 points on the Falcons? Because if that's the case, then I might say, hey, maybe Carson Steele does get 18, 19, 20 carries.
Yeah, then they're just grinding them.
You just obviously try to keep the clock moving. But if it's a back and forth game, I don't know if Carson Steele gets more than 14 carries. So it's a tricky situation. I am interested from a prop bet standpoint because I definitely think he can score a touchdown based on short yardage. He is still their best option on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 if you're going to actually hand the ball off.
Let me cut you out there. Sorry, real quick. Do you think he's their best option in 2 weeks whenever Kareem Hunt is on the team?
What situation are we talking about?
A short yardage. Let's say it is 3rd and 1 from the 5-yard line, kind of like what they just had on Sunday against Cincinnati, and they ended up doing it.
I still might give it to Carson Steele because that's fresh legs. And until I see it with Kareem Hunt, although he is a bigger back and clearly powerful, I don't know if you want to push him there quite yet. Also, too, you can more run. I think people need to remember this, too. You can also run more plays for Carson Steele out of more various formations because he does have the fullback and running back responsibilities within the playbook. So you could split him behind Patrick to the side. He could obviously line up somewhere in that fullback role and obviously have a fullback dive or a fullback counter. There's more ways of getting him the ball where the defense doesn't quite know where he's going. But yeah, in 2 weeks, until I see Kareem Hunt, I would still give the nod to Carson.
I know we haven't seen Hollywood Brown in this offense, but which absence do you think is more crippling? Do you think it's Pacheco or Hollywood Brown?
I think it's Pacheco, just because you knew what you were getting, and unfortunately, Pacheco was playing at a really high level.
For really like the last 10 games, even if you count the postseason, he's turned into he's not going to get you 125 yards,
right?
But he's going to get you between 70 and 90 every single week, and that's really, really valuable.
And he was already starting to be even more effective as a receiver too. I mean, in just 2 games, based on the 2 high shell coverage, cover 4 looks, I mean, he had 7 receptions for 54 yards. So he's getting you more than 7 yards per touch as a receiver out of the backfield too. He was averaging 4 yards a carry through 2 games before the injury, of course. So I think there's more consistency in knowing what to expect from the running back, especially now that we know that the interior of the offensive line is still very good with Joe Thuney coming back from his pectoral injury. I thought Hollywood had a really, really good training camp, and it's just really, really unfortunate that we won't necessarily see what he looks like fully healthy in this offense. But even with him being a new piece, I still think Pacheco was probably the more reliable player, considering that he has shown so much growth from obviously his rookie season into year 3.
Right now, we got Nate Taylor in studio. I guess take us through the decision to bring Kareem Hunt back, because I'm sure I kind of put it in this category. You know that Justin Houston's been available at least 4 times. And the Justin Houston move always made sense. But we just had they're not bringing Justin Houston back. Everybody just kind of knew they're not bringing Justin Houston back.
Carrington, they're not making a call, let alone coming back. Why would we call him? Yeah.
So for this, I just always thought it was good while it lasted. We know what happened that got you kicked off the team. He is a player that we are not interested in. Now, desperate times call for desperate measures, and there are not a lot of great options in week 3 of the NFL season. If you want a veteran running back, you're getting someone who is not currently working. This is somebody who knows the system, knows Pat, knows Andy, knows Travis.
Yep.
You assume he will be on his best behavior when he's here. Take us through the decision to bring him back, and when he gets healthy, what do you see his role as?
So the last time that the Chiefs could have had this conversation, this is more hypothetical than what actually happened, was in 2020 when Kareem, after being reinstated from the league after his 8-game suspension with the Browns, was a free agent. And there wasn't a ton of, now I will say he did play well with Cleveland. He did show that he was still a consistent, productive player. But the Chiefs at the time were trying to figure it out with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They just drafted him. So there was no reason to even, again, pick up the phone and really have a conversation or talk about it. He signs a 2-year deal. Okay, that's fine. Then he signed another 1-year deal with the Cleveland Browns. And so I guess 2023, you could have, this is before the 2023 season, I guess you could have had a conversation. But hey, you struck gold with Isaiah Pacheco as a 7th round draft pick. So, again, there's no reason for them to ever have a conversation about Kareem Hunt until Monday morning when they realized Isaiah Pacheco was going to need surgery and he was going to be out, as I've reported, at least 8 weeks. So you need 2 months. You don't have a lot of time. Andy Reid said that Brett Veach had a list. Again, I don't know how long that list is. Maybe it was 4 or 5 people. Of course, Jerick McKinnon's one of them. He's not interested at the moment.
You think so, that they would have brought back McKinnon? I don't know if there's a reason to have McKinnon and have Samaje Perine on the team.
There's some doubling of skills. But
I really wanted them to get Damian Harris. That was the one I kind of wanted them to get.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that Dalvin Cook went to Dallas, if I remember correctly, right? He's on their practice squad. So
they could have got him, but the Cowboys probably would have protected him.
Yes.
But then, my question would be is if Dalvin Cook can't be on the active roster for the Cowboys,
what's going on?
He's really cooked because they got the worst running back room in the league. You're telling me he can't play? I love Deuce Vaughn. I love Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn ain't proved he an NFL running back. If you can't be ahead of him in the depth chart, something's going on.
They are playing Ezekiel Elliott in our Lord and Savior's 2024 season. That's crazy.
As their number 1 back, too. It'd be one thing if he was like your Kareem Hunt, right? He's like your, hey, we bring him in veteran guy. No, that's your number 1 back.
Yeah. So, okay, no Dalvin Cook. Again, he's in the best shape of his life, sure. Anyway, so at some point, it's like, well, how quickly can we get somebody up to speed? As I've said before, it's easier to get a running back integrated into the offense faster than a tight end or a receiver because there's just more things you're having to do, blocking, play in space, obviously get timing with the quarterback. So they had a conversation on Monday, and I guess Clark Hunt was like, you have to remember all these factors have to come into play. They have to be going for a 3-peat. They have to have an injury this early in the season, but one that's going to extend for, again, 2 months period. There's, as we've talked about, nobody else available. His name kind of gets brought up, and it's like, well, I guess we should talk to Clark. And it's just like, Clark's like, is he going to be on his best behavior? Well, why don't we just bring him in on Tuesday
and let's find out.
Let's find out. And
I heard he was here on Monday, and they just actually did the workout on Tuesday.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the phone,
I'm just saying is
the
like
phone
the
call
fact
and all that happened. Was Monday.
All of that stuff happened. He was here on Monday. They had that sit down conversation. Then it was then we'll get to the
workout
part of it. Yeah.
So the workout was good. He's in shape. He looks fine based on the limited portions of practice that we get to see throughout the week. My understanding was that the earliest he could play was against the Chargers next week, so it's no surprise that Andy Reid said, hey, let's just get him in as much conditioning and, get used to obviously working with his teammates, and then obviously we'll build him up based on what his limited role will be against the Chargers. So with all that said, we did not see Kareem Hunt at any point outside of the practice field. They're like, you want to interview him? Get out of here. He's on the practice squad, and he's getting his you-know-what in the playbook. This is as shocking of a roster acquisition that I can remember. That happened so quickly for so many different reasons, but it's understandable at the same time. But I even asked Andy Reid, like, did you ever think this was happening? And he never said no, but he gave me a lot of filler for about a minute and a half. And I'm like, just coach, just say you're shocked as I am. Just say it, man. It's okay. So for Kareem Hunt, this is an unbelievable turn of events. Like, he couldn't have found a better place to really, have a twilight to his career. So with Patrick Mahomes being okay with this, with Andy Reid being okay with this, Brett Veach eventually gets to Clark Hunt, man, can you just be serviceable for the next month or two to just give us a little bit of stability at the running back position? And then, look, we'll see what happens if Isaiah Pacheco surgery, indeed went well and his rehab goes, pretty smooth over the next, again, 6 to 8 weeks. But as someone who wants to play for a contender, as someone who felt that, there's obviously a redemptive arc to this. I mean, I was told he wants to do right by the organization because he knew he failed the organization based on his actions when he was, 23, 24. You don't rarely get this second opportunity, but I'm fascinated to see, how he handles it and how the Chiefs try to use him, because he is not, I just want to remind people, he is not the same player he was in 2019. I watched some of them highlights, Carrington, and I remember, wow, he was from a football player, he was special, especially in that offense. But he's just not the same player he was. So anything he gives you, you have to look at it as a bonus, not as a requirement or something that you come to expect, given he has no training camp, he has no preseason, he hasn't played a game in almost a year now, and they're asking him to give some contribution basically after joining the team in 2 weeks.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Nate Taylor. Coming up on the other side, I am a little bit nervous about this game. I'll tell you why I'm nervous about this game. We got Nate Taylor in studio. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Pizza Taccio, the king of Kansas City's New York-style pizza scene, has taken KC by storm. Pizza Taccio uses the highest quality local and organic ingredients, hand-tossed by KC natives. Oh, and did I mention they were voted KC's favorite pizza? Place your order now for pickup or delivery at pizzataccio.com. Or stop in for a slice at any of their locations in OP, Midtown, North KC, St. Joe, Waldo, or Belton, and dive into the taste that's conquering Kansas City, one slice at a time.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
At Main Street Credit Union, your success is our goal. Whether you're a financial rookie or a pro, we're here to help. If you're looking to pay down debt, improve your credit score, or buy a car, we'll be right there with you. We're dedicated to providing guidance, education, and essential resources to empower you on your journey toward financial success. We'll help you understand your financial options so even financial rookies will be on their way to reaching their goals. Go to mainstreetcu.org for more information.
At Shane Company, we make finding your perfect engagement ring fun and easy. Because let's be honest, you might feel a little stressed out. We get it. That's why we do all the hard stuff. It's our job to bring you the biggest selection of beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones, so many amazing settings, and all the customization your heart desires. We've got your style and your price range covered, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Come in for a warm welcome and leave with your dream ring and an experience you'll never forget. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
Winchester at Lake City Army Ammunition Plant in Independence is the largest manufacturer of small caliber ammunition for the U.S. military. They're hiring technicians starting at $26.72 an hour with a $1,000 hiring bonus. Excellent day one benefits include medical, dental, educational support, paid time off, and company retirement contributions up to 8%. Join Winchester and serve the U.S. warfighter. It's more than a job. It's a mission. Apply at winchester.com/careers.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Pros, now's your chance to save big during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save big on appliances like the GE Stainless Steel Kitchen Suite. Plus, save $40 on 5-gallon pails of Valspar Reserve, Valspar Defense, and Valspar Stain. Shop Pro Savings Days today for big savings on everything you need to get the job done right. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 9/27 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Let's face it. Nowadays, most companies have to rely on dozens of expensive, disconnected platforms to run their business. And even then, things can get a little, well, stressful. But with Odoo's all-in-one management software, packed with a suite of fully integrated business applications, every process is streamlined. Tasks are automated, and success is just a few clicks away. See how Odoo can take your business to the next level at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This report is brought to you by Flying H Drag Strip. Drag racing is back in Kansas City. FlyingHDragStrip.com.
Kansas City, drag racing is back. Don't miss the fall SmackDown, September 19th through 21st at Flying H Drag Strip. For tickets and info, visit FlyingHDragStrip.com. The real horsepower hangout.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northbound 435 on the ramp from Front Street, there's a disabled vehicle blocking traffic. Be prepared to stop. Southbound 435 at I-70 roadwork has the left lane closed. You'll slow down at 23rd. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Chiefs fans, it's Trey Smith. Welcome to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I have a theory about football fans, and this is, I don't care what team, doesn't matter. We all, before the beginning of the season, make predictions on what we think a team's record is going to be. Yeah. And at some point over the course of the season, you then have to pick that team to lose. Like, they're not losing that game. Well, you had them going 12-5. That means they lose 5 times this season. What 5 games you got them losing then?
Yeah.
We had the topic, and I asked you this. You remember, I asked you this in the offseason. I will give you $1 million. You tell me the game that you think the Chiefs lose first. I told you Atlanta feels like a right answer on this one.
You did.
Coming into it, Chiefs banged up running back right now. Uncertainty at left tackle. Big win for the Atlanta Falcons back at home Sunday Night Football. I'm worried about this game.
Yeah, and my pick at the time was the Chiefs losing their first game on, I guess, October 20th.
Yeah, to San Francisco.
To San Francisco. I looked at San Francisco's injury report.
It's
buddy.
Bad. It's bad.
Buddy. So, yeah, I mean, there's always a game since that 2020 season. I mean, I guess even including 2020 season, because remember, they lost that home game to the Raiders where Gruden had them go circles around the stadium. So stupid. But there's always a game in the Chiefs season where they lose a game where you're like, there's no way they should lose that game. Now, you could say Kirk Cousins still not totally healthy, but they got weapons over there. And so, yeah, I don't know. I know you don't know this answer, Carrington, off the top of your head, but I do ask myself, what's the best game in Kyle Pitts' career? And why is it probably not going to be until Sunday night?
You're worried about Kyle Pitts?
I am.
Because this show...
I'm worried about Bijan and Kyle Pitts.
I'm worried about Bijan.
Okay.
I think Bijan has turned into a top 5 back in the league.
He's really good.
I think Bijan
He's great.
has turned into a guy that he could run for 100 yards in this game or have 40 yards receiving in this game. That just makes him really, really difficult to stop. Now, Rob makes this point a little bit more than me about the Falcons as a whole, but I think that Kyle Pitts is the embodiment of it. Kyle Pitts, we've done a lot of talking about a guy who was a top 5 pick who ain't done nothing in 3 years. He hasn't. Kyle Pitts is one of the more overrated players in the league, and I get it. He was picked high, so you blamed everybody else for why Kyle Pitts. Oh, it's the quarterback. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's this. It's year 4. If you got it, we will find out at the end of this season. Because Drake London looks like he has it.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney looks really good on Monday Night Football.
Good.
Ray McLeod looks like a legitimate 3rd or 4th option. Kyle Pitts still looks like Kyle Pitts. Same guy.
But he might be running routes against the likes of Nick Bolton and Justin Reed, which, if you care for Pro Football Focus...
You said Nick Bolton like it was a curse word. That's what you said.
I'm just saying.
He cursed.
Pro Football Focus says there's a couple holes on the Chiefs defense through 2 weeks. It's called Nick Bolton, and to a lesser degree, Justin Reed has been great in man coverage against tight ends. Now, that obviously could change. He has a better track record in coverage, of course, than Nick Bolton. So he could be running some routes in the middle of the field, get open for Kirk Cousins. Carrington, against the Philadelphia Eagles, Bijan Robinson had 14 carries for 97 yards. According to Next Gen Stats, he had plus 23 yards over expected, which means he making a lot of people miss. Yeah. He making a lot of people miss. So the Chiefs have yet to face a running back of this quality this season. So that'll be fascinating. And I don't know who Trent McDuffie guards, but I would tell Kirk Cousins, throw the ball anywhere else. Just whoever Trent McDuffie's covering, take a deep breath.
The only reason I don't think it's happened for McDuffie yet is because he doesn't have the interception numbers.
True.
But in coverage, he has been as good as Sauce Gardner. He's been as good as Patrick Surtain II. But we all know how this works. Kind of like if you play on the D-line and you don't get sacks, kind of hard for people to talk about you. Mm-hmm. If you play corner and you never get an interception, people just aren't going to consider you to be one of those guys, even though every other metric will tell you that Trent McDuffie is one of those guys.
Yes, Trent McDuffie is honestly like a top 5 quarterback in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, Trent McDuffie, your first-round pick, has played in 29 career games in the regular season. He's played 7 postseason games. He is a back-to-back champion. No interceptions. 0.
That first one he gets, I mean, that 15-yard penalty that he's going to rack up when he finally gets one.
You think you're going to do what was it, Drake London?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
He might shoot off 2 of those guns.
There was nothing
He about to be like Lacey from LSU.
Yes. Bazooka's out here. Coach, what do you say to Drake London when he does the machine guns in the air? And God bless Raheem Moore. It was just like, I think that was a T-shirt gun he was talking about. We're like, Coach, stop it.
That is what he did. I was like, bro, you know you can't do that. I actually think the NFL is let you
lying.
The NFL lets you do a lot of celebrations. You know you can't do that celebration. Drake London, like, come on, now that was silly.
Yeah, they let Tyreek Hill put his arms behind his back so that he could get arrested. But hey, man, just put the gun down. Put the imaginary gun down. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun matchup just because the Falcons, again, this might sound weird to some people in the audience, but like the Falcons have more options than the Bengals because the Bengals really had like
they got more options than the Ravens do.
And that was you're leading me right to my point. Like, so the Ravens, it was like, okay, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and obviously Azale Likely. Man, Joe Burrow was throwing to Mike Gesicki 7 times. And obviously he had Jamar Chase, but Jamar Chase was being guarded by Trent McDuffie for much of the game. Well, for Atlanta, there's just more options. They have better running backs, and I mean that multiple, because Algier was just as good when he touched the ball against the Philadelphia Eagles. And of course, they have like 3 legitimate receivers for the Atlanta Falcons. So This is a true test. The only difference now is you're going from the most elusive mobile quarterback to a statue. The best part about Kirk Cousins' comeback against the Eagles, Carrington, was 1, 2, 3, ball out, baby.
Every time.
1, 2, 3, 5, ball out. I mean, he was 1, 2, 3 outs. Even though it's we have no timeouts, even though it's a race against the clock, and the Eagles can pass, can rush the passer occasionally. Yeah, man, when I get to this back foot, the ball's coming out, guys. I don't care if it's an interception or not. I am not getting hit. So if you know where he's going to be in terms of his dropbacks, and he's not really going to move off that within the pocket, then, hey, Chris Jones, go out there and dominate. George Karlaftis, come off the edge and be generate more pressure than you showed over these first 2 weeks. And I imagine Steve Spagnuolo will have more blitzes lined up just because there's not the threat of, if we miss him on the blitz, he can run for 10, 12, 15 yards that even Joe Burrow can do on occasion. So the Falcons have more options, but I do think the Chiefs should be aggressive considering that Kirk Cousins is still playing with quite the injury.
I'm picking him, but I don't feel great about it. I'm picking him because you should very rarely pick against the Chiefs, and they have Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback. That's why I'm picking him. But I asked Rob this question. Is there any other team that you would pick in this scenario on the road against a team that both you and I think is decent? Your starting running back is out. One of your key wide receivers is out. You also don't have your left tackle. There aren't many teams I would pick to win in this scenario. I'm picking the Chiefs because they're the Chiefs.
It's going to be a lot closer than maybe people think, just because the Falcons are new and they played so bad in the first game of the season against the Steelers. It's hard to take them seriously. But if they get into more hurry-up opportunities, right, if they get into a rhythm, they can go score for score with the Chiefs. And because of protecting the most valuable asset in franchise history is kind of a question mark, it's understandable why you should be nervous about this game, because if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, then the entire season is altered. And that's the burden that's on Kingsley Suamataia. Not only are you a rookie left tackle going up against the most maniacal freaks in the league when it comes to rushing the passer, man, you're protecting like the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. So please don't screw up in the third game of the season and torpedo our chance to do something historic. So if you tell me Patrick Mahomes plays all 4 quarters, I'll be with you. Chiefs win. But if there's real struggles protecting Mahomes, if they have to adjust their offense to give him time to throw the ball to Travis Kelce, then yeah, there's going to be a chance for Kirk Cousins to kind of do what he did this Monday. Hey, you might get the ball with a chance to win the game late in the fourth quarter.
That is our guy, Nate Taylor, joining us in studio. He does fantastic work with The Athletic. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get to the Chiefs. We'll get to the Royals. This is a busy sports weekend in Kansas City. Keep it right here. It's The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northbound 435 on the ramp from Front Street, there's a disabled vehicle blocking traffic. Be prepared to stop. Southbound 435 at I-70 roadwork has the left lane closed. You'll slow down at 23rd. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Brought to you by Indeed.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
We've got important college football action. We've got some pro football action and some of the most important baseball games that we've had in Kansas City in quite some time. If you're looking for a place to watch the game, grab a drink, get something to eat, and enjoy the action, stop by the other place in one of their 5 area locations and check these great game day specials that they have. 14-inch 2-topping pizza for $12, 8 wings and a basket of tots for $12, a $4 domestic. It's the next best thing to being at the stadium. If you're looking for a place to catch all the weekend action, then go stop by the other place.
It's better over here. If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up this Sunday, Week 3 in pro football, Tennessee, a 2.5-point home favorite against Green Bay. Total in the game is 38. Now, it's possible that Green Bay's starting quarterback could return early from his knee injury. It feels unlikely. The betting market tells you that's unlikely, with Tennessee almost as a 3-point favorite. And if that quarterback is not back in this game for Green Bay, hard to not like Tennessee laying anything under a field goal. Green Bay won't be able to run it as successfully against this Tennessee defense, so I like Tennessee coming up on Sunday. I will lay the 2.5 with Tennessee against Green Bay. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? Well, Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has helped over 35,000 families out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares, and they may be able to help you too. If you were misled into signing a timeshare agreement that is a lifetime commitment, if you were told timeshare is a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, you need to get the facts about timeshare cancellation. For over 10 years, Wesley Financial Group has been dedicated to helping folks get out of a lifetime of debt by canceling their timeshares. So they created a timeshare exit information kit, which reveals how the timeshare industry works and what your options are for cancellation. Simply call Wesley right now and they will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. See how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Again, 800-761-0000.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Join 96.5 The Fan and Bud Light for the Fans Football Show with Mitchell Schwartz and Jay Binkley every Thursday in September starting at 6 at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Enjoy $5 talls, prizes, and Chiefs gear. For a list of locations, go to 965thefan.com.
What's up? It's Patrick Mahomes. Catch me every Monday during the season with C-Dot right here on your home of the Chiefs. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We appreciate you guys being here with us on this wonderful Friday. We are going to bounce back and forth between the Chiefs and the Royals because both teams deserve time in our 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk a little bit of college football. Not worried about Missouri this week. They got a home game against Vanderbilt. It could be a little closer than people think. Missouri's a 20-point favorite, but I feel pretty confident that Missouri is going to remain unbeaten. K-State goes on the road to take on BYU. That's a dangerous place to play. And KU, it feels like their season is possibly on the brink. They go on the road to West Virginia. It's an early game. You know that sometimes those spots are a house of horrors. We'll see how Rob feels about his Jayhawks. Let's start with the Royals, and then we'll transition to the Chiefs a little bit more in the hits. Sometimes you get a gift from the baseball gods. Sometimes you do. I just want to read to you the stats and numbers of who the Royals are going up against today. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. These are the guys that look like Sandy Koufax against the Royals. These are the guys that look like Randy Johnson back in 95 with the mullet playing for the Mariners. But let me just read to you guys a little bit of the numbers of Mason Black. Now, you might be wondering, who's Mason Black? Well, he starts for the San Francisco Giants. He is 0-4 this season. He has a 7.07 ERA this season. He has given up 37 hits in 28 innings. He has given up 22 earned runs in 28 innings, 7 home runs. This guy is not good. Not at all. This is a gift. The Royals offense is what you would say in a slump. Everybody, including Bobby Wood Jr., and he's one of the 5 best hitters in the planet. This is a gift. You got to take advantage of this gift and get off to a good start in this series against a team that has nothing to play for and is starting someone who I'm not certain is going to be in the majors next year. If you guys don't believe me and you're thinking, Carrington, you don't know what you're talking about. Will you trust and believe Josh Vernier? He's our Royals insider. He knows what he's talking about.
Listen, there's no excuse to lose this game or lose this series. Not because the walls are closing in on you, but because you're the better team and the playoffs start soon. Pick it up. Both players, coaches, the fans, these final 3 games, everybody needs to pick it up a little bit.
All I want is for you guys to have a little hope and belief. And I understand that the Royals, they have to do their part in the hope and belief category. But, man, Rob, you got to figure out a way today against Mason Black. You really do. You got to figure out a way. This guy's not good. Guys get hits off him. You can win this game today. I don't care how you do it. You just got to cobble together 5 wins over the next 9 games. And at the start of that stretch, you have a gift. This is the worst starting pitcher you will face the rest of the season. It's not even close. So we won't spend too much time talking about the Royals. I do want to talk about the Chiefs. It is a Red Friday, I understand, but this is the biggest Friday game that the Royals have had in quite some time. I think the crowd is going to be out there. I think people know how important this game is. It's the weekend. The kids ain't got school tomorrow. The weather isn't going to be good tomorrow or Sunday. They move the game up. The Chiefs are out of town. KU's out of town. I think there's going to be a good crowd today. Man, they got to win today against Mason Black. If you want to see this thing really turn into a panic, let this guy put some zeros up against the home team. And trust me, the panic, I already think is starting to bubble. They lose today with this guy on the hill, it will only make things worse. It's a gift from the baseball gods. You got to take advantage. All right, Rob, let's get to the hits.
It's 5 o'clock, and your wife has tuna casserole ready for you at home. Might as well get caught up on the biggest stories of the day in Kansas City with C-Dot and Rob. This is The Hits. Number 1.
Well, Carrington, the hits are brought to you by Baker University, where graduates earn higher salaries and land jobs faster than any other university in Kansas. Apply today at bakeru.edu. Well, the top story of the day in Kansas City outside of the Royals is the Kansas City Chiefs. They gear up for Sunday night football against the Atlanta Falcons. Andy Reid today was asked point blank, hey, who's playing left tackle?
We'll keep Kareem down this game. The two tackles will both have an opportunity to get in there this game, the left tackles.
Carrington, both left tackles have an opportunity to get in there. I don't want to apply quarterback logic to tackle, but is it concerning that the Chiefs are playing both? And if you have two, do you in fact not have one left tackle?
Yeah, I am a little bit worried about this, and we'll talk more about this after the hits is over. This is the left tackle competition that we expected to see all offseason. And the Chiefs, at every single turn, denied Wanye Morris snaps and gave them to Kingsley, which sounded good in theory. Now, less than a month into the season, now there is a legitimate controversy and a battle for who's going to have that spot. We talked about this all summer. There weren't a lot of spots that were up for grabs. That number 2 corner spot was up for grabs. Jalen Watson grabbed it. That wide receiver room needed to be solidified. It has since been solidified. The only hole that they appear to have right now is at left tackle. And they don't know who that left tackle is. Is it Kingsley? Is it Wanye Morris? I just don't want this to be a talking point for the rest of the season. This is one of the most important positions that you need to have solidified. And the Chiefs thought they were going to do it with the rookie left tackle. And they probably will do it with the left tackle. They probably can. But the growing pains that you would expect with the young player, they are happening right now for Kingsley Suamataia.
Number 2.
Well, Carrington, the conversation around Travis Kelce is maybe not heating up nationally, at least not yet, but let Travis Kelce go out there on Sunday and have another sluggish performance, a 3 for 22 and no touchdowns. Maybe he does exactly what he did in the Bengals game, which was very, very little, and suddenly the Danny Parkins, the Nick Wright types, the Mark Schlereths, the Craig Cartons, the Kevin Wilds, pick a name, will be talking loudly about Travis Kelce on Monday morning. Do you believe Sunday could be a chance for Travis Kelce to silence potential haters and keep that conversation at bay?
I think one of the reasons that at least I am worried about this game, I can't speak for anybody else and how they feel about this game. A reason that I am a little bit worried about this game is I don't know what version of Travis Kelce they're going to get. If Travis Kelce had 6 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, it wouldn't surprise me. If Travis Kelce had 3 catches for 25 yards, it also wouldn't surprise me in this game. You know what this offense really needs right now? Another guy with proven production. They have one in Rashee Rice so far this season. They've had another in Isaiah Pacheco, and he is now out, and that's kind of been about it. If I had told you at the very beginning of the season, make me a list of who you think their 4 best offensive players are, in some order, you would have had Travis Kelce, Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, and Hollywood Brown. Well, 2 of those guys are not playing on Sunday, and one of them has gotten off to the slowest start that he ever has had in his career. So the only reason we were talking about this is what Rob said. Right now, this is just maybe a drive conversation and a Kansas City conversation. If Travis Kelce plays poorly on Sunday Night Football with the entire country watching, it will be a national conversation. It will be on First Take. It will be on your favorite football podcast. The 2 games where, the one got called back, the Chiefs could desperately use a good version of Travis Kelce on the road on Sunday night.
Number 3.
Speaking of Atlanta on the road Sunday night, Chad Millman of the Action Network was on Colin Cowherd's podcast, and he said, listen, Chiefs fans, I get why you're excited, but people who bet professionally, they are all over Atlanta.
Falcons plus 3.5 sharper square.
Totally sharp. The wise guys have been moving this. It was at 4.5, then to 4, now to 3.5. Would not be surprised if it gets down to 3. 2 sides of the coin, both telling the same story, which is fade the Chiefs. On the one side, Patrick Mahomes as a favorite of more than 3 points historically, he is under 500. Now, of course, Patrick Mahomes is almost always a favorite and oftentimes a favorite of more than 3 points. So there is some, take that with a grain of salt, but it is the fact. This offensive line is in trouble. They have injuries. They are sitting starters. They have guys who are causing too many penalties. Like you said, there are still some questions at the receiver positions. Rashee Rice, great, but outside of that, what is your downfield threat? We haven't seen it from Worthy other than some really cool trick plays. Pacheco, I think, is a massive problem being out. And Mahomes hasn't looked that good, right? You look at the Chiefs, the Ravens, a shoe toe away from being in that game and tying that game. You look at the Bengals, a 4th down pass interference against a rookie. The Chiefs could easily be 1-1 or 0-2. Number 2, their rush defense, as great as Chris Jones is, their rush defense is amongst the worst in the league. We know the Falcons can run the ball. We just saw them do that against the Eagles. And even better than that, their right side of their line, especially their interior center and right guard, they are as good at run blocking as anybody in football. You are correct with the wise guys. Atlanta, plus 3.5.
For those of you that gamble on these games, it has been interesting to see the line move over the course of the last couple of days. I believe the Chiefs started as 5.5-point favorites. It's now down to 3. I think there's a chance tomorrow it's going to be 2.5 for Kansas City. And if that's the case, I think you just have to take the Chiefs to win by at least a field goal. I think that's where the smart play is. I'm torn about this game for a couple of different reasons. I would pick against the Chiefs or against whoever the road team was in this scenario for almost every other team in the league outside of Kansas City. If you told me that their starting running back wasn't going to play, one of their top offensive contributors is not healthy in Hollywood Brown, and they also have left tackle questions, and they're going on the road against a team that I think is going to make the playoffs in Atlanta, that's usually not a spot where the road team is favored. So to me, the line is the ultimate sign of respect for you're the Chiefs, and there's no way we can have you going into the game being an underdog, and I don't think that they should be an underdog given the fact that they are the Chiefs. But I don't feel great about this spot. Last week, I felt really confident in Kansas City going up against Cincinnati, and I wasn't really sure where the offense was going to come from in Cincinnati. They don't have a lot of weapons currently that are healthy on that team. You don't have Joe Mixon anymore. He's gone. T. Higgins is banged up. Tyler Boyd is somewhere else. There's not a lot of weapons on that Cincinnati team. There are weapons on this Atlanta team. They got a top 5 running back room, in my opinion. They got a pretty deep wide receiver room. The kind of deep wide receiver room that Chiefs fans sort of envision themselves having, where you got Drake London, you got Ray McLeod, you got Darnell Mooney. You got a couple of different options and guys that can make plays out there on the outside. I think there's a lot of reasons to like Atlanta in this game. I think this is a tough spot for the Chiefs. You're going on the road, Sunday Night Football, and you are banged up. That usually is the combination of how you lose in the National Football League. I'm picking the Chiefs this week, but I don't feel nearly as confident about it as I did in weeks 1 and weeks 2. I think the Chiefs can obviously win this game. I think they win this game off the strength of Patrick Mahomes, off the strength of Andy Reid, a bounce-back game from Travis Kelce, and I think you win this game because of the defense. Now, I know this is not how stats work, but if you take away that final drive for Atlanta, that probably shouldn't happen. Atlanta scored 15 points last week. So for as high as I can be on Atlanta, I also have to acknowledge their offense was not doing anything prior to the drop from Saquon Barkley. And we'd be having a very different conversation about the Atlanta Falcons if they were 0-2 than them being 1-1 right now. I do think it's a little bit unfair from Chad Millman to play the shoulda, coulda, woulda game for the Chiefs and not play that game for the Atlanta Falcons. Sure, you can play it for Kansas City. Yes, change the end of the game with Isaiah Likely. Change the penalty at the end of the game. Yes, the Chiefs could be 0-2. They could be 1-1. You can't make that same argument for the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, if if Philadelphia runs the ball at the end of the fourth quarter, I think they win the game. If Saquon Barkley catches the ball at the end of it, they almost for sure win the game. They get a first down. Atlanta has no timeouts left. They can knee the clock. They win the game. So Atlanta probably has more of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas than I think Kansas City has in this matchup. I think given the injuries, these two teams are closer than I think than it would appear. Rob, I've said all season, I will not pick the Chiefs if they are a fully healthy team. I don't think there's any team in the NFL that is going to beat them if they are fully healthy. They're not coming into this game fully healthy. What started just 3 weeks ago as a team that only had Hollywood Brown as an injury, they've kind of picked up some question marks along the way. Now, that's football. You're going to go through ebbs and flows over the course of the season. If you are going to play Kansas City, this is the best possible week to play Kansas City. I don't know if that's going to be the case next week or in 2 weeks from now. But right now, the Chiefs feel about as shaky as you can feel about a 2-0 team, certainly given the bar that they have created for themselves in the early part of the year.
Based on what you're saying, I feel like I'm more confident in the Chiefs this week than you. Not to say that you're picking against the Chiefs, but it just feels like I have more confidence. So I'm curious, as someone who feels like this could be a spot where the Chiefs get got, is it more based on the Falcons or the fact that Chiefs are on shaky ground? Because I understand the Chiefs are on shaky ground. Their left tackle is a question mark. Their running back is a question mark. Their offense has not been the high-flying one we kind of expected this season. They've had a turnover problem again this year. We've not really talked about that, but if it persists, we'll have to talk about it. The turnover problems from last year are back this year. They are on shaky ground for a 2-0 team. But where me and you just differ is I don't think the Falcons have enough to take advantage of it. We talk a lot about Kyle Pitts, and you say he's all name, no game. I feel that way about a lot of their guys. Like, Bijan Robinson is good and has had 2 really good games this season. But if you look at his whole Pro Football Reference page, it's not like, wow, can you believe he did that in 18 games? It's just good player. Drake London, I think, is more of a, hey, I drafted him early in fantasy because I believe in the Falcons, than he is production type of guy. Kyle Pitts 1,000% fits in this. Darnell Mooney is first team all. If that guy had a quarterback, he would really start producing. But yet, he hasn't started really producing at any stop. And Kirk Cousins is one great drive away, and I understand that shoulda, coulda, woulda, is one great drive away from having, 25 total points in 2 games against teams that we think are going to be fighting for wild card spots. It wasn't like he played the Chiefs and the Niners in week 1, 2. It wasn't like, hey, you got the Lions and the Ravens, go get them, Kirk. He got the Eagles and he got the Steelers. I think a lot of my calmness about this game is I just don't believe in the Falcons or their pieces, and I don't believe in Kirk Cousins coming back from his injury yet. There's still reason for me to believe he's not at 100%. Aaron Rodgers took a few games for him to get going, and I think Aaron Rodgers is a better athlete, and the injury happened earlier in the season. I don't trust the Falcons' pieces the way you do, I guess.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that kind of stems from the fact that you and I are just very different on Bijan Robinson, where I think that Bijan Robinson is the best offensive skill position player in this game, eliminating the quarterbacks. I think in terms of the running backs, wide receivers, all those things, I think Bijan Robinson's one of the 5 best running backs in the league. Last year in his rookie year, he gave you 13 yards from scrimmage and 8 touchdowns. So far this year, he's averaging 5.2 yards per carry, also has 70 yards receiving. So he's a guy that in this game wouldn't be surprised if he has 80 or 90 yards rushing and also gives you 40 or 50 yards. I think this game, usually we try to find the X factor guy. Well, you need a McCole Hardman, a Juju Smith-Schuster. No, to me, this game seems kind of simple to me. How does Kansas City do against Bijan Robinson? Because I think he is the key to everything that they do offensively. If you stop Bijan, I agree with you. I don't know if they have enough else at the high end in order to win this game. And what version of Travis Kelce do they get? And I would say my level of concern and worry for Travis Kelce is just a little more heightened than I think the average Chiefs fan is when it comes to it. This is one of the few games that I go into it just not knowing what version of Travis Kelce you're going to get based on what we've seen over the course of the last handful of regular season games and how this started. If this was 2019 Travis Kelce and you knew you were going to get the guy that was the ultimate matchup nightmare, I think the Chiefs win this game kind of comfortably. I don't know if Travis Kelce has 35 yards in this game or 95 yards in this game. So that just creates the uncertainty for me where other than Rashee Rice, because I think Rashee Rice is warranted of being in the certainty category. I would be surprised if he didn't play well in this game. He's going to get the targets, going to get the opportunity, going to get schemed open. I know they're going to get great production from Rashee Rice. Are there other players on this offense that you feel confident that they're going to have at least 50 yards? Because you're not sure if they're going to get 50 yards from Carson Steele. Are you confident they're going to get 50 yards from Travis Kelce? Do they get that from Justin Watson? If they get decent version of Travis Kelce, I think they win this game.
Can you say the same things about the Falcons, though?
100%.
Like Bijan's going to get his yards the same way Rasheed's going to get his yards. Are we sure Drake London's going to get any? Are we sure Darnell Mooney's going to get any? Are we sure Kyle Pitts? Now, I actually kind of am with Nate. If there were a game where I think Kyle Pitts might look like the Kyle Pitts, it's against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs' way of defending tight ends through 2 games is just don't and let's see what happens. Like, that's Mike Gesicki's been great and Isaiah Likely's been great. I mean, I understand what you're saying. The Chiefs' weaponry is questionable right now because Kelce doesn't look like Kelce and Pacheco's watching from the sideline. But I think even with a relative full bill of health, that's the same way the Falcons are. Bijan can be Bijan, which, by the way, he was hot and cold last year. I know different coach, new system, blah, blah, blah. But he was Katy Perry, hot and cold, yes then no. That was him last season. This season, Drake London, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what Kyle Pitts is going to do. I have no idea what Mooney's going to look like. And I know it's not a skill position player. I also don't know what Kirk Cousins is going to look like because 9 months ago, he was taken off the field in Minnesota with an Achilles injury, and then he started working out on a tennis court. And I'm just to believe he's back full go. I think that's where my my lack of faith in Atlanta comes from, more so than anything else.
Coming up on the other side, we had the afternoon host from Atlanta join us on the show earlier this week. Also, the color commentary. We'll play the best of what they had to say, and we'll also get you ready for a very important series at Kauffman Stadium this weekend as the Royals play host to the Giants. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
So we may have switched things over from 610 Sports Radio to 96.5 The Fan, but we had to bring all of our friends with us. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you about our friends at Window World, the official window of the Kansas City Chiefs. Be sure to pick up the phone, 816-799-0820. That's 816-799-0820. Or check out the website, windowskansascity.com. And when you call Window World, be sure to mention that you heard this on The Drive, and you'll be entered into a drawing for 4 Chiefs tickets during the upcoming season. You know the Chiefs got some big games, and you're going to want to be there. Right now, they're offering 36 months same-as-cash financing with approved credit. And what I like is, apart from major holidays, you can speak to someone from the customer service department 7 days a week if you give them a call. The competition is unavailable on the weekend to help you with service questions or warranty questions, but Window World has staff available all weekend long. So pick up the phone, 816-799-0820. Call for a free home estimate. Call to be entered into a drawing for 4 Chiefs tickets. Remember, Window World, simply the best for less, and the official window of your Kansas City Chiefs.
Hi, it's Derek Johnson, and I know there's nothing better than being part of a team. A group of great people you can count on and learn from. The Sheet Metalworkers, local number 2, are growing their team and looking for quality men and women who want to build Kansas City's future. While you're making KC a better place, you'll also get great pay and benefits while gaining lifelong skills. Explore the possibilities at sheetmetal2.org. That's sheetmetal2.org. And take a step towards a fulfilling and rewarding way of life.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
The Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, and our 2 soccer teams, the Current and St. Louis City SC, are all endorsing Amendment 2. Here's why you should support it too. Right now, Missouri sports fans are taking their money and placing their bets in Kansas and Illinois. We're losing our money to other states, money that could be invested in our schools. Amendment 2 fixes that. By legalizing sports betting, Amendment 2 will generate over $100 million for Missouri schools over the next 5 years. And there's a strong constitutional guarantee ensuring the revenue from sports betting will go to education. Kansas and Illinois know sports betting is a winner for their fans and taxpayers. It's time for Missouri to get into the game. Amendment 2 means over $100 million for Missouri schools. Join the Chiefs, Cardinals, Royals, Blues, Current, and St. Louis City SC in supporting Amendment 2. Paid for by Winning for Missouri Education, Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The results? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on user's location, intuitive online ordering, an increase in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users. For scratch-made Asian cuisine, visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Ink card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Ink Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Join 96.5 The Fan and Bud Light for the Fans Football Show with Mitchell Schwartz and Jay Binkley every Thursday in September starting at 6 at participating Buffalo Wild Wings locations. Enjoy $5 talls, prizes, and Chiefs gear. For a list of locations, go to 965thefan.com. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Park and Go, your top choice for all covered airport parking. On the Missouri side, 470 westbound slows from Raytown Road past Blue Ridge Boulevard. Accident blocks of 2 right lanes. Kansas side, 635 northbound. Construction around Metropolitan has you down to 1 lane. And you're solid from I-35 all the way up to I-70 with delays. This freeway should be avoided. Tackle your airport parking needs at Park & Go. Always the best service and always the best price. Open 24/7, fast and free shuttle services, and all spots are covered. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and operated. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Chiefs fans, it's Nick Bolton, MIZ. Welcome to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, let me play a couple of cuts for you guys, and we'll get back to the Royals here coming up in a bit. I do want to talk about the Royals a little bit more in this 5 o'clock hour. We'll also take a look ahead to Sunday's action in the NFL. All right, let's hear from Dave Archer. He does the color commentary for the Atlanta Falcons. Here he is talking about the depth of weapons that the Falcons have.
Well, and that's the key, right? I mean, that's something that you want as a quarterback, is to be able to have different guys that can affect the game and maybe win the game for you. I mean, we haven't even really talked about Kyle Pitts. I mean, Kyle is as good a tight end, pass catching tight end as you're going to see. We just haven't seen enough of it. We saw it his rookie year, and then his growth has been stunted based on quarterback play. We're hoping that that's going to blossom here with Kirk. It hasn't yet in the first 2 weeks. He's caught a couple of passes. He caught a couple of key moments, got a touchdown pass against the Steelers, but it's really been a few far between. Drake London, we saw Drake London, some of the things he can do the first 2 years of his career. He's got like 140 catches in his first 2 seasons, but still the effect of a game and winning a game like he did on Monday night, those things are coming. And then you bring in, like you said, Mooney and Ray McLeod, who've been around the league. They've had some moments in their career, but no really star moments. So it's a blend of guys that are kind of coming together to try to develop an identity with one another. And Kirk Cousins is the key. He's the guy that's distributed. He talked about openly after the game that he was disappointed that he didn't get more people involved. So that's, again, his service-oriented background and him wanting to get everybody involved in the game is going to help him, but it's certainly going to bring these guys out and let them be known a little bit more as mainline guys.
I do want to play what Carl Dukes had to say here in a bit, but I'll give Kirk Cousins this credit. I think as football fans, we have tried to kind of throw every quarterback in the Alex Smith category. We were doing this with Dak Prescott at a time when Alex Smith has never been as good as Dak Prescott currently is. I think you have to give Kirk Cousins a lot of credit for how consistent he's been in the National Football League. And one of the reasons that the NFL quarterback state is in the state that it is there aren't a lot of guys like Kirk Cousins. This is the biggest gap to me that we have ever seen between the have teams and the have not teams. We used to kind of look at those 4 or 5 teams like, man, they got bad quarterback play. It's about 10 or 12 teams that have bad quarterback play. Pittsburgh has bad quarterback play. Carolina has bad quarterback play. The Raiders, we can go up and down the list. There's not a lot of guys anymore in that middle tier. And a lot of the conversation that we have had is, well, you can't pay that guy, just go draft a quarterback. Right now, would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Bo Nix as your quarterback? Because I think the answer is very obvious. You have no chance of doing anything if Bo Nix is your quarterback this season. You got a chance to do something if it's Kirk Cousins, especially in the NFC, that you don't have to go through the Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and those guys. You got to go through Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford and Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy. Atlanta has a chance. Now, I don't think Atlanta's going to the Super Bowl, but the drive that they had in week 2 is all you need to. That drive's not possible with any of the rookie quarterbacks right now in the league. That drive's not possible with any of the second-year quarterbacks in the league other than C.J. Stroud. So we always say, just go get yourself a young guy. Go get yourself a rookie. Man, the young guys in this league are struggling, where the guys who have been in the league 5+ years or so, those guys are starting to have some success. I want to play for you guys what Carl Dukes had to say, and we'll get back to the Royals here momentarily. Here is Carl Dukes. He does afternoons in Atlanta for 92.9. Here he is talking about the Atlanta defense and how it matches up against the Chiefs.
So, Carrington, I asked that question yesterday to Raheem Morris, and he kind of laughed because the reality is nobody's figured out Patrick Mahomes, right? I mean, nobody. You got to have a little luck. You got to hope he throws it to you at some point. And the other side of that is, no Isaiah Pacheco. And I said that to him, and he said, that doesn't matter. The Big Red, the Chiefs will find a way to move the football and get in scoring position. I think more than anything, the fact that the Falcons have been as stout as they have been against the run, especially against these first 2 teams, in the Steelers and the Eagles, they kept these teams out of the end zone, man. And I think that's something that you think about and you say, okay, maybe, Patrick's going to get his yards. He's going to do what he does. But if we can attempt to slow down the run, maybe we make it a little bit more difficult on Mahomes. And that's all he said. There's no secret. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback and the best player in the NFL, and that's why he's done what he's done. I think they go into this game and they attempt to stop the run, slow the run, and then hopefully create some turnovers because they know that they're up against it on Sunday against the best in the business.
I mean, to me, Atlanta's best chance in this game, at least from a defensive perspective, is to try and win the turnover battle. You've got probably one of the 3 best safety rooms in the league. Can you force Patrick Mahomes to make one or two mistakes? Can you get the young guy, Carson Steele, to put the ball on the ground? Can you limit possessions by the Kansas City Chiefs and win the turnover differential? I don't think Atlanta has a great defense. I think it's okay. It's fine, but I don't look at them as one of the stout defenses. I think Baltimore's defense is better than theirs, and I think that their defense is probably comparable to where Cincinnati's is. The Chiefs moved the ball and scored against Cincinnati. I think they'll be able to move the ball against this Atlanta team. Are they going to be able to convert in the red zone? That's kind of why the game was close at the end. The Chiefs had a couple of opportunities to put the ball in the end zone and kick field goals. If you do that and you leave money on the table, you give yourself a chance to lose at the end of the game. So, Rob, let's get back to the Royals. We'll talk for them a bit, and we'll also take a look ahead at Week 3 of the NFL slate. Are you feeling good? Where are you at mentally right now with the Royals as we head into this very important 3-game set? I feel really good about today, just given the pitcher that you're going up against. He has given up 37 hits. So the Royals should be able to get on base. The Royals should be able to get something going here. And this could be the catalyst to turning this thing around in the final 10 days of the season. You don't need to go out there and really beat this guy around, but you need to put together some quality ABs. You need to rough him up early. And of the next 3 days that you have, this is the one you cannot afford to lose. There is no bigger gap in the pitching disparity than this game that they have tonight with Michael Wacha going for the Royals and you going up against Mason Black, who has a 7 ERA in the baseball season. There's 2 more weekends left in the baseball season, and the kid has a 7 ERA. You got to get on this guy, and you got to get on this guy early if you are the Royals offense.
So I'm confident tonight for everything you just said. I actually think that if you're a gambling man, you're looking to place a little wager because the starter tonight is so bad. Over 4.5 total runs to the Royals. 4.5 total runs feels like the play. I like they get off the schneid tonight against a bad pitcher. But you asked me my confidence in the Royals as a whole. Man, the math says continue to be confident. And I'm going to trust the math. I'm going to say at 53 games in, the math people have a pretty good idea of what the teams are. And it's Fangraphs is saying 90%. Baseball Reference is saying, 88%? 85%? They are telling you the overwhelming favorite is the Royals are going to find their way into the playoffs. I think we talked about it earlier with Vern. You can catch it on the podcast page. How the third wild card has created a little bit of a soft landing. And the Twins, playing objectively worse baseball right now than the Royals, also bodes my confidence. If they win this series, I'll puff my chest out with confidence. But right now, I stay on the side of they are a playoff team because all the math indicates they are a playoff team.
What do you think is the bigger story on Monday? The Royals losing their series or the Chiefs losing on Monday Night Football on a last-second field goal?
It should be the Royals. If the Royals lose the series to the Giants, they're probably in the third spot chewing on their fingernails, and that's the bigger story.
Yeah, I want the Royals to create a little separation, and I think the last week of the season is obviously going to have some stress. It can be far less stressful if they win these next 2 series. If they win these next 2 series, they're going to the postseason. You got 2 series that you should win. If you are a playoff team, you should beat the Giants at home and you should beat the Washington Nationals anywhere. If this team is a playoff team, they got 10 final days to show you. Even if you back into the postseason, you got 2 landing spots, whether it's the second wild card spot or the third wild card spot. Just take care of your business. The schedule has broken in your favor down the stretch. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Last call. This offer is almost over. Every single FanDuel customer can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every single Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/CDOT, use my promo code to download America's #1 sportsbook app. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Full price of NFL Sunday ticket will automatically be charged seasonally after free trial. No refunds, terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
On tap in Kansas City, and there's no better place to catch the game than my friends over at the other place. They got great game day specials available during every Kansas City game. So a 14-inch two-topping pizza is $12. 8 wings and a basket of tots is $12. They got $4 domestics. It's the next best thing to being at the stadium. So it doesn't matter if you're catching soccer this weekend, basketball or football, the best game day atmosphere is over at the other place.
At Shane Company, our engagement rings are the perfect blend of design, function, and beauty, each one a unique work of art. We meticulously craft our bridal jewelry in our jeweler's workshop to the highest standards, expertly setting each diamond by hand, ensuring the structure is perfectly balanced, and sizing everything for the perfect fit. Shane Company offers a free unmatched lifetime warranty because your engagement ring is an heirloom that was made to last. You'll cherish your ring today, tomorrow, and forever. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm here with my friend Brian Manning of Manning Roofing. Why is it important to deal with a roofing company that understands the insurance side of the business?
First of all, you want to make sure that you get all of the damage covered at your property. We have a very experienced team that's licensed and insured. We do roofs, windows, siding, and gutters, along with some interior trades, and we can make sure that all of the damage is taken care of.
I've used Manning Roofing at my house, so set up your appointment today at manninggc.com or 816-448-8208. The choice is simple. It's Manning Roofing.
Hi, Toby Tobin, along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford, Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
What's going on at Lewisburg Ford?
Well, guess what? We're still selling everything for $50 over factory invoice, just like we have since 1979, Toby. We save people so much money and a lot of headaches that they don't have to get other places by arm wrestling with people trying to negotiate prices. We're saving everybody in Kansas City a whole lot of money, Toby.
Yes, you are. What are the savings now?
We've got F-150, Toby. 2024 F-150s, you can get up to $13,500 off and 1.9% financing for 36 months or 3.9% financing for 66 months.
Now that is great.
It's a huge savings and great rebates and incentives with the financing.
You know what?
What's that?
I think I'm going to get a truck from you.
It's about time. We convinced you finally.
Yeah. F-150 more sold in the greater Kansas City area 7 years in a row.
The biggest F-150 dealer for 7 years in a row and the biggest in the state of Kansas 3 years in a row.
What is your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford, Lewisburg, Kansas.
This report is brought to you by Flying H Drag Strip. Drag racing is back in Kansas City. FlyingHDragStrip.com.
Kansas City, drag racing is back. Don't miss the fall SmackDown, September 19th through 21st at Flying H Drag Strip. For tickets and info, visit FlyingHDragStrip.com. The real horsepower hangout.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Buying or selling a home is a big deal, literally. It's one of the largest financial transactions you're likely to make. So work with someone who will work with your best interests in mind. Someone who agrees to operate with transparency, honesty, and fairness every step of the way. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and are bound by a strict code of ethics that requires they put your interests above their own. Because that's who we are. Make sure your agent is a Realtor.
Chiefs coverage on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by award-winning Johnny's Barbecue in Olathe.
Football and barbecue fans, score big with Johnny's Barbecue tailgate packages. Whether you're hosting a home gate or a tailgate, Johnny's Barbecue has you covered. Check out our tailgate packages at johnny'sbbqkc.com. Located in Olathe and serving all of KC. Johnny's Barbecue. Taste the smoke.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 635 northbound is solid from I-35 all the way up towards I-70. You're down to one lane with construction at Metropolitan. Heading into downtown, 670 eastbound, slow from about I-70 over past 35 into the downtown loop. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Chiefs fans, it's Rashee Rice. Welcome to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I want to read this to you really quickly. So this is from John Ketz. He works at Fox 4, friend of the show. You guys know who he is. So a state lawmaker told him, quote, I think if we're going to keep the Chiefs in Jackson County, there will have to be another vote. Quote, I think the Chiefs would be open to a deal where they get the 3/8 of a cent sales tax and they're able to use that to renovate or expand GEHA Field. State House Representative John Patterson, he told Fox 4 today. Now, you guys know that I am all hopeful and optimistic about the Chiefs and their chances to stay in Jackson County. But I hope that the plan for Missouri is not, well, Kansas is going to give them a brand new stadium. We are going to help them renovate the old stadium. That doesn't sound like a good plan to me. Now, maybe I'm wrong. And Clark has said that ideally he would like to stay here. But, I mean, let's just use our common sense here. The lure from one side is we are going to build you a state-of-the-art, brand new. If you want SoFi, we can do that. If you want Allegiant Stadium, we can do that. I don't know if now the plan is going to be, oh, well, hey, we'll just give you the money now to renovate it and you guys can keep the tax. Maybe that is enough. But that is not what my plan would be. I do agree with them that if the Chiefs are going to stay in Jackson County, there's going to have to be another vote because you have to figure out where the money is coming from. The Chiefs are not paying for their stadium, especially when one state has said we will pay for a majority of it. So we don't have to spend too much time. We don't even have that much time left, Rob, but I hope that their plan is a little bit more is, well, now we'll just give you the tax. I said that from the beginning. Remember, I said I don't think if the Chiefs stay, we ever get from underneath this tax. I think we are always going to pay this tax if you want to keep the Chiefs in Kansas City. I think the plan is going to be that the Royals are going to have to find a different way to fund it, and there are other ways to pay for your stadium than just a strict sales tax. But if you want to keep the Chiefs in Kansas City, part of the stipulation is going to be that tax is now coming to us.
I'm curious what let's say the Chiefs roll out another plan. Like, hey, you guys are going to vote again? Here's a new plan. Do you think the Chiefs' plan would have to be better? Because, listen, I understand there are lots of reasons why the previous vote failed. It is not one thing. But I think on the list of reasons is an underwhelming plan from the Chiefs. And if this comes up to a vote again, the Chiefs will yet again have to show us being people in Jackson County and voters, how we use that money. If they roll out another plan that says, hey, we have a, what did they call it? Initiation zone or activation zone, and we have more parking, and the people that we actually care about coming to games get private parking. I don't know that's going to pass. So, there's a lot at play more than just they got to get a vote again. They got to then give us a plan that would be interesting to vote for.
Well, you know what Jackson County has? They have the concept of a plan. That's what they have. They have the concept of a plan.
Meanwhile, the Royals
They were asked directly, what is your plan? They have a concept of a plan. We don't know. It's a top secret plan that we got to give them the money, and then they'll unveil to us what the concept of the plan is for the new
I think it's double top secret?
Yeah, no, triple. Triple.
No one can know the plan. That's how good it is.
Yeah, triple top secret. Vern sent me a text and said that the Royals are expecting 21,000 people in attendance out at tonight's ball game. So
that's not bad. I'd like to see it get to 25.
Yeah, I would love for it to get to 25.
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like they're going to get to 25, but
that'd be a nice number.
They think that it is.
21's not. You know what? 21's not great, but 21's not bad. I'm not going to crush 21.
No, 21's not bad.
They should do better.
It's better than the 15 they had last Friday. They had Friday they had 15. So
I was at that 15.
21,
that was bad.
21 feels like something. I actually placed a slight wager on the game today just to make it a little bit more fun for myself while I'm out there. I took the Royals on the money line. I took Tommy Pham and Bobby Witt Jr. to both get a hit. Got that at plus 200. So
you might have 2 legs done in the first inning.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Certainly against that guy, I was really about to get crazy and put Salvador Perez. And I was like, you know what? Let me just calm down. Let me just make these 2. Let me just do a little plus 185. Let me go and call it a day, man. Let me just make the game a little bit more fun for me while I'm out there. All right, I had a lot of fun today. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun as well. We had a great week, man. We got to change that tuna casserole open, man. That's going to be my goal for next week, man. That's going to be my goal.
You think it's getting done in 1 week? Good luck.
You think it's getting more? You think it's getting multiple weeks?
I think it's going to be a Halloween problem.
Oh, wow. You think we got it for a while?
I think we're pot committed.
You think we're pot committed? It's hilarious. All right, take care of yourself. We'll catch you guys on Monday. I'll let Daniel Craig take you home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck?